Cheers. Here's to a shitty ass movie.
Well, here we go.
Okay. Oh, all right. Exercises.
Yeah, he's got to do.
Stretch. Oh, motherfucker.
Do what you got to do.
And delete. All right.
Might be a short episode, bro.
3,
2,
2, 1.
1, and start it. How's everyone doing tonight? How y'all doing? This is, of course, PS Comics. I love you. I am one of your hosts, J.R. Cabacungan, aka the Dark King, the Dark Sith Lord himself. And right above me, or to the left of me, or wherever you guys are looking at right now, is, of course, the one, the only,
the voice of reason, Kevin Pillow at Voice of Reason 23 on all social media platforms, including Snapchat. I'm back. Just because, they got rid of
they
got rid of other stuff. Let's see what else. I used to be on. Oh my gosh, what the name was that? There was a streaming site that Twitter bought. Was it?
That should be Snapchat, isn't it? That's Snapchat.
No. There was another company. I can't think what it's called. It doesn't matter. Irregardless, we are here. It's episode 32. By the way, let's double down on it. Again, I'm Kevin Pillow. He's JR. We didn't say it all last week.
We did not. We're getting back
I
into
think it was
thing,
just
guys.
way out of practice and having no idea what we're doing. Just like this microphone has had no idea what it's doing. This is the official pop culture podcast of Carefree Broadcasting, where we talk about all kinds of nerd stuff. And right now, if you are just joining us, shame on you. Where the freak have you been for the last 10 weeks or so? We are smack dab in the middle. Well, we're on the downward slope, actually, of the Star Wars saga, the Skywalker saga, so to speak, where we have now watched all of the movies from beginning to end in a watch-along fashion, from Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, to Rogue One, Solo, the original trilogy. Yes, we watched Force Awakens last week, and God, yes, we are going to watch The Last Jedi tonight. That's why we're drinking early.
Technically late, but yeah.
Whatever, yeah. So let's get out of the way real quick. If you want to hit us up on all social media platforms, PS Comics I Love You on Facebook, PS Comics I Love You on Instagram. We are still awaiting the grand poobah winner of who will be the one who will push us over the top so we can do the raffle for the Art Germ and the J. Scott Campbell Wonder Woman package that we have awaiting in our PS Comics I Love You vault. PS Comics I Love You on Twitter, and of course PS Comics I Love You at gmail.com.
As well as the undisclosed or yet to be for me it's the undisclosed copies that I will also give away during that too. So of course the amazing people at Comic Asylum has actually donated these 2 copies to us, the ones that of course Kevin was talking about, and I will be putting in my hand in the pot, and we have yet to actually determine, but when we do reach 100 on all platforms, I will definitely unveil what I'm giving away, guys, and it's gonna be good. I will say it's gonna be good, and so please guys, just continue to support us, continue to rep us, and continue to just help support us through all our platforms. Thank you very much for everything you've done, guys. We're very grateful for your support and all that you do, guys. Thank you very much. And also, we will always constantly say this: support local comic book shops too, guys.
Exactly. So. And I just found some new toys on Zoom.
What's up? Oh God, here we go.
You want to know how I got these scars? Oh, it is going to be a long night, folks. It is going to be a long night. Again, support Comics Asylum and Desert Oasis Comics with Comics Asylum, of course, kind of pseudo sponsoring the giveaway. Again, it's a J. Scott Campbell variant from issue number 750, I believe. And then I believe it is issue number 50 for Wonder Woman. Right. That is the Art Germ variant. And yeah, so check it out. All you got to do is like and subscribe like our Facebook page, PS Comics I Love You. Follow us on Twitter. Become a fan of ours on Instagram. Just look it up, PS Comics I Love You. And of course on YouTube, also go to just search out PS Comics I Love You, or go to youtube.com/wildthing2331. That's my old YouTube channel. That's where we have it. The link is also in the bio of all of our social media platforms. And if we get to 100 followers on YouTube, again, all kinds of goodies coming your way. We're going to do a big raffle. Maybe we'll do a live feed or something like that. But anyways, yeah. Without further ado, before we get to the news and notes of episode number 32, let's get the old clicker out and let's get prepared to watch this shit show. Anyways, we are watching Star Wars Episode VIII, The Last Jedi. We have it queued up at the double zeros, triple zeros, whatever you want to call it. Again, if you're on Blu-ray, DVD, iTunes, Vudu, Disney Plus, get it to the triple zeros and get ready to start playing. JR's not playing this game because, well, as he mentioned off the air, he is saving his ducats to get himself a brand new MacBook Pro to join the big boys. The MacBook Air just ain't cutting it.
Nope.
It's a good piece of a good piece of equipment.
It is.
It's not to stream. Plus, why don't you at least have like a little 32-inch TV in your room?
Oh man! Oh, because I don't want to. I had a 50-inch TV in my room before, right? But like, ever since I got my monitors, dude, I got 2 monitors. I do monitors on my thing. I'm like, I don't really need a TV in my room anymore, so I gave it to my parents.
For those of you who don't know, where I'm sitting right now, I'm at a desk, got a green screen behind me, so I'm looking at JR's face. I wasn't gonna say beautiful face because
I dare you.
Yeah. But to my immediate left is a beautiful 36-inch, 37-inch Vizio television, cheap plug for Vizio. And so if you ever see me looking this way, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep us on cue because Jared will go like, hey, where are we at in the movie? So I've got the TV. So your parents were right. Don't ever watch a TV this close. You're going to go blind, amongst other things that you do that will make you go blind. Anyways, with that said, let's get
masturbation.
There you go. 3, 2, 1, hit play on the movie. There it is, Lucasfilm Limited. Like we said last week, only the second movie in the Star Wars saga to get the treatment away from 20th Century Fox. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away was the plot to this movie. Star Wars, little known fact, second to the last movie that John Williams would ever score.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right.
Little did we know that John Williams was headed towards retirement. This was the movie that it really set into me, JR, when I saw the episode Roman numerals, because it didn't quite, even though it was like, we got a new movie, The Force Awakens, cool. We get new characters, we get new Star Wars stories. Like that was the cool part. But the Roman numeral effect, getting to see the episode, because for so many years when we saw the original A New Hope, it said episode 4. And so we always went like, oh, what does that mean? Where's episodes 1, 2, and 3? And 20 years later, we're still asking that. But this is where it set in. I remember I did not see this movie in the theater. It's the only Star Wars movie I have never seen in theater. Thank God I didn't waste money to go see it. But anyway, so this is after Sky Killer Base has been destroyed. All is supposed to be well in the world, even though Kylo Ren got away. I like JR's title. Oh God, we're here. We should just stop. So we're starting it. Camera pans down. Where does it? How does this movie start?
It starts off with the war
run.
Yeah, the bomb. Okay, and I want to talk about it. Can we just talk about it first, and we'll go news and notes? Because I know I'll be angry, and I won't come down from this anger. I won't come down from it.
I remember seeing that opening where they're like going through they're like zooming in through all of the spaceships, and I went, oh God, this just reminds me of Attack of the Clones. It just looks like shit.
I mean, it was to you like the CG was decent for me. Like, all right, so I watched this for me. This is the first movie I watched with the Comic Asylum crew. There you go. See, I watched with the Comic Asylum crew, and Comic Asylum, every movie or so, right, that they have on the docket, where if it's a sci-fi movie, a comic related movie, or some form of like movie that people would enjoy to go to, they actually have a deal going on with our local movie theater. With the local movie theater. Which what was the movie theater again?
It was well, this was the first one that kind of kicked it off. This was someone came up with a brilliant idea, like, hey, let's go see Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And let's go do a party bus. And someone rented a party bus. Chick got a great deal with Mary Pickford. Yeah. Mary Pickford was the
Mary Pickford. There you go. I got you the party bus thing. So Adam Sintes, great guy, great freaking guy. He actually had the great idea of doing a and shout out to him, shout out to Adam Sintes, shout out to Drew Yeager, and shout out of course to 111 Press. And so they Adam had the great idea of like, this is the first movie thing. Of course, before that, actually, prior to that, Chick Halai, she had the great idea. The owner of Comics on them, she had the great idea of like, we should, we're definitely gonna have, if people want to go to a movie event, they literally rent out a room, that one of the huge cinema rooms to watch, to watch Last Jedi. And so people, of course, showed in. And since she said, you know what, dude, let's go balls out. Let's go. Since we have I'll rent out a party bus. And then he invited people personally to come, like, hey man, I like you, let's go to the party bus, right? We all got drunk on the party bus. We all got drunk prior to the party bus. And we got drunk at Comic Asylum. The party bus came over. We took a nice trip around, like, all right, cool. When's the movie though starting, right? I was one of the people like, oh man, we should really go. The movie's coming up. But like, I was drinking my drink. We were having fun. People were having a good time. We played music and everything. We played Wu-Tang. We played everything else. We got to the front and we were just hammered before the movie. Absolutely hammered before the movie. Yeah. And I think the reason why I liked this movie the first time was because I was drunk. I'm very much one of those, like, I'm very much of a chill drunk where, like, if I have good vibes, I have good vibes. But before then, one of our patrons threw up horribly. He passed down, threw up, and it was so bad that we had to call EMT. We actually had to call the EMT. I'm not gonna say any names, but actually called EMT, and because of that, we also nearly got in a fight. I remember that day. I remember the day, and the fight wasn't, of course, towards the people in the party bus or the patrons that go to the store. It was from a different party, and they were trying to act up, trying to say some stuff, and like me and like two other people, I'm not gonna say their names either. Like, are you serious, bro? Like, I alone can take all three of you. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, and so it was funny. And then we went to watch the movie. We had a good time, and then we watched the second time, and we did not have a good time after that.
Now, it should be noted that I was really looking forward to this. This was an event that Chick really wanted to see get off the ground and really kind of build a partnership with sorry, I didn't want to burp right on the microphone. Wanted to build a relationship with Mary Pickford. They really kind of already had something going through Comic-Con Palm Springs and whatnot. So, this was something that she wanted to work on.
Yeah. And
so she came to me and she's like, "Hey, would you be down for this?" And I said, "Hell yeah, go with all my friends, get drunk, watch Star Wars." Was going to do that at home, and what unfortunately happened was, with a lot of the Star Wars movies, they came out during Christmas time, around December. My wife, I won't say where, but my wife is an elementary school teacher. And at the time, we had two kids in elementary school. We still do. And they were in the Christmas program. And they were supposed to be on, we had thought it was going to be on a certain date. It ended up not being on that date. And my wife came to me and she's like, "Hey, Christmas program is on this random Thursday night," and I was like, "That's the night we're supposed to go to the movies. We're supposed to go to Star Wars." Well, we're not. So we were trying to make it figure out. She was like, "Oh, you know what? You can go. I just won't go." And I'm like, "How can a dad skip out on a Christmas program?" So I didn't. I ended up going to the Christmas program, and it sounded like I remember I got a text from Chick that night after the movie was over, and she's like, "Be grateful you skipped this movie." And I was like, "Oh man, was the movie that bad?" And she's like, "No, there was just a lot of drama, blah 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 blah. You and Danielle, blah, 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 my wife, would have not had a good time." But
I mean, it's hilarious because there were other things involved happening. I think I won't get too much into the details, but like there was I thought our situation that happened out in the front of the movie theater was bad. There were some other situations that weren't just as bad there, but they were pretty similar. I'm like, what? I didn't know that happened too. That was crazy because I was just dealing with this whole impossible fight and drunk person that needed to go, that needed to basically kind of drain his system or get his stomach pumped get this person's stomach pumped, at a hospital. I'm like, I thought that was the biggest thing. No, I guess it wasn't, man. Which was hilarious to me because it was a good night at that point.
I think it's so funny is now Chick has done at least since 2017 has done at least a dozen movie nights.
I think more, like 20 now, dude.
Yeah, 20. And 2020 was supposed to be a massive year. 2020 was going to have guaranteed a movie every single month, if not two, during the summertime. There were times Chick and I actually, her and I personally worked on the schedule, and she had me. She's like, "No, you pick the movies. You know these movies. What are going to be good? What's going to fit the crowd?" And so, it was 2020 was going to be a massive year, and so obviously we ended up knowing it turned into a dumpster fire. But these were a big deal. This is a big deal for her, and this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for Pull List members to go see these movies first run. To tell you how cool these premieres are. When we went and saw Endgame, no, not Endgame, Infinity War. We actually got to see it before staff members at the theater did.
Yeah.
And we have a young lady who used to be a Pull List member at the store, who left bawling her eyes out, left Infinity War bawling her eyes out. You got to tell the story real quick. Because of the end of the movie, which is Infinity War is a fantastic one. One of these days we're going to have to do a watch along with the Infinity War. But she left bawling her eyes out because she loved Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And of course we all know, spoiler alert, Spider-Man dies, gets dusted in Infinity War. And so why did they have to kill Spider-Man? And as she's walking out, there's this girl sweeping the entranceway of all the popcorn and stuff. She stops and she kind of looks up at this girl and just kind of like kind of just dies inside because she just spoiled the movie. And this girl from our crew looks at the girl working at the theater and just goes, "I just ruined the movie for you," and starts bawling again. It's one of the all-time favorite moments. I'm not going to call out this person.
That's amazing.
But I do know that one of our followers on this show has or had a personal connection to this woman, and he'll get a good joke out of it. But nonetheless.
No, there was no, dude. If we keep on coming up with these stories rather than fucking talk about this goddamn movie, I'll be happy. So we're gonna keep on going with this.
Well, they're blowing up the.
How do you blow up a freaking? How does gravity work in space? You can't. Bombs don't go down when you're in space.
I never thought about that.
That irritated me the second and third time. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. There's no type of gravity, and not only that, but when the doors swing open, it swings open to space. No one should be breathing unless they come along in terms of like, oh well, wow, there's an anti-gravity field for this certain thing.
But then again, how do lasers work?
That's the thing. Lasers has been a thing forever. It's since sci-fi have started. I can get to that point, but when you have a visual effect of bombs dropping down on a space cruiser in space but that would determine that, hey, gravity works now in space. That doesn't make sense. At the first time I saw this, I was having a good time with the movie. Great time. Of course, I was drunk. And I'm like, oh, and visually, like the tone of this movie from the start was like, all right, cool. It's gonna be a very probably a despair movie. It's gonna be a very sad movie or a depressed movie, right? And just seeing the very first run of this movie, I thought, oh shoot, that actually looks really good. He's trying to make these entrance swipes and sweeping shots, and like somewhat have the same feel as Empire Strikes Back, right? Similar to that, right? The vibe. But now looking back at it the second and third time, how the hell does bombs work in this freaking movie in space?
I've seen it. Now this is the technically.
Let's go back to my other freaking side story point.
Okay, I bought this movie on iTunes. I had heard all the poor reviews. I had heard all the stories. And I still bought it. I needed to see it. There was no Disney Plus. It was not going to be on any streaming platform. I needed to see this movie for myself.
Yes.
I got a beer. I got something to eat. I sat down in my chair and I prepared to watch this movie with my wife.
Yeah.
And I was okay with that opening sequence. A lot of people, I didn't like, I take that back. The zooming in, if anybody's seen the opening, the zooming in and going through all the story, I was like, oh shit. And then the unnecessary sarcastic joking from Poe Dameron. I love the character. I love Oscar Isaac. Okay, and we're going to get to him in just a moment about another project. I like him as an actor. He is fantastic. He is great as Poe Dameron. I don't like the humor that they give him. It doesn't work. He's sitting there going, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you patch me through? Oh, I must be on hold. Unnecessary. Freaking necessary. And by the way, I like the actor who plays General Hux. I am falling out of love with that character.
Now? Because of everything? Yeah. Dude, the second movie killed him.
He's a pansy. He's a pushover. And I get it. I would sit there and say there's a phrase in professional wrestling where they call it a chicken shit heel, where they go like they talk tough and and then they go, oh no, don't hurt me. He's not even a chicken shit heel. He's not. It's just he's a good actor. I like him. I like the potential of the character. Just for some dumb reason,
here's the thing with it. Okay, so here's the fucking thing with this movie, and the one thing I freaking hate, and I've seen so many people draw comparisons to, in the sense, or draw theories of, and just draw certain things and strings to. This whole freaking movie, all the men are weak.
Did I just miss something? Did they already do the scene where he throws the lightsaber off the cliff? Yes, they did. I completely missed it.
Yeah. See, here's the thing with this one, and this is the thing that like people have harped upon, and the people will say, oh, that's misogyny and all that shit, right? And but like, the more I watch this movie, the constant theme I see in this is that men don't know how to do shit, and women are the ones who will fix everything. There's nothing wrong with that ideal. I'll give you that. But when it's in a movie that has a long established franchise of flawed characters and them growing out of that, them growing out of being that type of flawed character, you're gonna already piss off the people that been here since fucking day one, myself included, yourself included, right? And so when you come in with this stupid ass aspect, and again, of course, I will say this movie came out during the height and during the height as well as during the aftermath of the Me Too movement. So they wanted much more. They wanted way more strong female characters. All the strong female characters in this film are the women. Yeah. And it plays to a point where like it just stops becoming a Star Wars movie and more so of a woman hoorah movie. There's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, when you establish certain character sets, when you're on the second freaking movie, and you have all these amazing characters already established. One, Rey being flawed and not knowing and not understanding who her parents are, and not understanding her place in the world. That was a plot line in the first movie that I was waiting to see unveil in the next two movies. Guess the fuck what now? They gave her the freaking keys in the second movie. The keys to the kingdom. It's supposed to be a 3-star set. It's supposed to be literally a three dynamic star set. Oscar Isaac, Daisy Ridley, and John Boyega. And this movie, after this fucking movie, took out both those fucking stars and left Daisy Ridley by. Nothing wrong with Daisy Ridley. I got love for her. She's an amazing actress, and I hope I really do hope she gets films after this fucking movie. But they really played up who Rey was, and they gave her the fucking Mary Sue pattern because of this stupid ass movie. And people will say, well, that's what happened with Luke. Luke got his fucking hand cut off in the second movie. Luke figured out that he's actually a wimp. He's not actually all that strong. He's not the freaking main character. In the third movie, they made him rise to a Jedi. But guess what? Guess who also dominated that movie? Han freaking Solo. Han Solo dominated that movie.
Yeah.
Freaking Carrie Fisher. They made Leia dominated that movie. They had more films there. And much more trying moments than Luke did. Even though of course Luke fought against his father and had that redeeming quality and had that redeeming faction with Darth Vader. There's nothing of that there's nothing of note for the other two amazing characters, or even all the other amazing characters in this movie after the second movie. It literally becomes the Rey show. It literally just becomes the Rey show at this point. And that irritates the hell out of me. It irritates the hell out of me, man. And I don't know, it's just that it's an established. If they did this with any other movie, and if they started with a whole new freaking franchise, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
The very first time, right? You establish chicken shit characters, right? You establish very much chicken shit characters. Or really not really well done characters. If Rian Johnson if this was his first throwaway into Star Wars movie, if he was given the first movie and it was still the exact same thing, I would have grit my teeth and said, okay, let me see what you got for the second and third movie that you'll do. Because if this was his first movie, right? If this was Star Wars Episode VII and not 8, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll give it a shot.
I will say that's a great line from Supreme Leader Snoke. We're in the throne room where Snoke and Kylo meet face to face, and he chooses ass for basically explaining what you just said. You got bested by a girl who's never held a lightsaber before, and you allowed Skywalker to still live. He goes, Vader, you are not. You are just a child in a mask.
Yeah.
And I was like, I forgot about that line. Great line. But just before that, in the first meeting between Rey face to face, well, other than the moment where Luke threw the lightsaber over the cliff, which just pissed me off. It was just completely unnecessary. I mean, I get it. He's done with it. He doesn't want anything to do with training another Padawan. But the moment where Chewie comes barging in the door and he goes, Chewie, what are you doing here? And he goes, I'll tell you about it on the Falcon. And Luke goes, Falcon? Where's Han? And it sets in. I was just like, oh, God, okay. It got me back in the feels. And I'm like, okay, maybe they can right this ship. And they didn't. So anyways, we've got an entire...
Yeah, okay. So
JR, we are 20 minutes into this movie.
I'm so wound up.
I know. Let's talk about something that's good.
Okay, wait. Let me. What was the other point? I was like talk about the freaking. I was gonna talk about Cabacungan again and about like 20. Dude, no. Okay, so hopefully when COVID becomes more containable, or
I'm gonna go get a refill because I'm gonna need it.
Okay. So when quarantine kind of hopefully dies down with the next year. Year and a half, 2 years. Hopefully we can start watching, and we can get together as friends, family, as compatriots into whatever our hobbies are. Hopefully, Comic-Con will continue to host movies at the awesome Mary Pickford Theater in Cathedral City, and yeah, we were supposed to watch a lot of movies last year, man. They had a great docket of movies. Of course, Wonder Woman 84. Yeah, 84 was supposed to be the biggest one there. We're gonna watch maybe like it was literally every movie every month, and I think in the summer 2 movies a month. And yeah, I always had a great time, man. We always have a great a great cast of people, great group of friends come over. We always sell out before the movie. We actually also go to to a restaurant before then. You know, that's really close, super close by. I forgot the name of it. Hey, Kevin, you hear me? 1 second. Hey, Kevin, you hear me? Let's wait for him. What's that? All right. Okay, that's okay. Hey, Kevin, what is the restaurant that we always go to before the movies?
That is a fantastic question. There's 2 restaurants that are in Cathedral City that are right next to the Mary Pickford Theater.
Yep.
And
we dropped the first one. I know that for sure. We dropped it for no, we won't get into it, but we dropped it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know anything about that. Let me name drop a little bit here.
I'm hoping they're still there, man, because you know I know for a fact that COVID was really just killed every business, and then
it really has done a number on the 2 restaurants that we ate at was Trelusa. Was one of them, and then there was another restaurant that does not look like is even in business anymore.
Which one was that one? Is that the one? Is that the one in the corner?
Yeah, that was on the other side of the parking garage.
Oh man, that was the one that. Was it Trelusa? That was the one we.
The Trelusa one is literally like right next to the theater. And then the other restaurant was like a fusion place. It was run by I believe a German couple.
Yeah, and it's at the old IMAX.
It was right next to the old IMAX, and it was a fantastic restaurant. Had good brats, damn good beer, and that was a good hangout because they loved us. We would pack that place. I think our crew, we would fill half that restaurant on a movie night.
Yep.
And the people that were there to eat was only half of our theater. So imagine half of the people that are going to go see a movie on a Thursday night are making up half of this restaurant. So it was a small restaurant. It was a niche restaurant, but it was good. They had some good eats, and
let me tell. That's right. I remember my story now. It was during when we watched Infinity War, right? Also that time they thought I brought like a couple girls along, right, for the movie theater, and they thought I was dating one of the girls. She was really cute. I think we had a thing for each other, but it never really worked out. But not one of the girls I was with, not one of the people that I was with, but like maybe 2 or 3 people after the movie, about 2 or 3 people ahead of me, right? I hear one of the guys going, "Man, that's such a freaking great movie. Can't believe Spider-Man died in front of a large crowd." No, he didn't say that. He said, "I can't believe everyone died." I'm like,
bro.
No.
Now, let's explain if JR hasn't already. We see these movies on Thursday night, okay?
Yep.
And now, mind you, back in the day, movies used to get a midnight premiere in the desert. You would go to the theater at midnight, and you would, because it was Friday night. And unfortunately, after the premiere of The Dark Knight Rises, and the unfortunate circumstances that took place in Colorado, they kind of changed how they did those kind of premieres. And what they started to do was they would show them at 9 p.m.
That's right.
And that was kind of their workaround. It was 9 p.m. It was 12 o'clock on the East Coast, so 9 o'clock here locally, and the studios would allow them to do it. Well, we got to see them at 7 o'clock, son. Yeah, we got to see them at 6:30, 7 o'clock. So we're watching first run movies. We're watching big blockbuster movies like Infinity War, Endgame, Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, stuff like that. Deadpool, Suicide Squad, stuff like that. Well, maybe not Suicide Squad. We weren't doing that back then, but no, those kind of movies.
Marvel,
Captain Marvel, Star Wars. You know, we're doing those movies. We're doing those basically hours before they actually paid. You know, paid patrons get to see it, and we get to see it in our own private theater. Usually got a little swag bag from the owner of the Mary Pickford Theater, which, by the way, they treated us very well. So anyways, that's kind of what it was. You have to be a pull list member, and it is a special premium that you have to pay. So
they also did giveaways to the comic book shop. You did get a lot of giveaways during the event as well. I think the last time they did it, I think for Infinity War, I think freaking JaVale gave a CGC box.
He did,
right? That's crazy.
He did. Now the last movie that that we ever did, I believe was the first two got canceled because not enough people signed up for it. So I think the last one that we did was Star Wars, was in December of 2019.
Right.
So
yeah.
Anyways, we've got an entire episode to again. Where are we at? We're 28 minutes into this movie and we have not gotten to the news and notes.
Thank you. Okay, here's the plan. Here's my actual. Okay, I apologize, Kevin Pillow.
No, that's all right. This is just the way this show is going to go.
My plan, honestly, was to make this segment of our podcast as long as freaking possible, so that we never get into the movie.
It's a good idea. I could stretch $1. Don't get me started. Bro, but we'll get into some stories. JR and I are going to share some stories because really and truly, The Last Jedi was the good thing that came out of The Last Jedi was it did kickstart the movie nights with Comic Asylum. And it really in December of 2017 it punctuated what was a very good year. Probably one of the best years I'm sure that the Asylum had financially. It was they celebrated their 1 year anniversary in May of 2017. That was the first time that JR and I really became buddy. We got absolutely hammered with Mr. Z and a couple other guys over in the corner under the old setup of the store. And nonetheless,
it's a grand old time just being drunk and talking comic books. Man.
If you ever have seen the Muppets, if you've ever seen the Muppets and you see the two old guys that sit up in the balcony and basically shit on everybody and just harass everybody, that's JR and I and Mr. Z. Well, Mr. Z is kind of quiet, but there's a couple other guys that kind of hang out with us. But for the most part, JR and I sit in the corner and we are we're that little comic relief in the corner and make fun of Chick and give her a hard time.
Yeah.
And stuff.
We talk shit to the staff who are awesome, who knows us, who talk shit back to us. We talk shit absolutely back to us, right? So we dish it and we take it, all right? So we don't talk shit about customers unless they're friends, really good friends, and we know them from the group. So I just want to make that clarification. We're not talking shit to random people. If anything, we help out. You know, the comic goers, the first time comic goers that come to the shop, and we are that group. Like, hey, if you need help, you know, looking for a comic book, if you have any interest or whatnot, we'll show you. We're basically unpaid help. If that works, I think we're unpaid employees that just sit around, drink at the shop and just have fun with the crew there, man. And so I would like to get started with our news and notes.
Well,
Kevin Pillow,
we are at.
Oh, where we at, dude?
Now, mind you, when this movie came out in December of 2017, I believe we had just lost Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Or had she not passed yet?
Let me get back to you right now.
But there's a moment in this show where
we lost her that night. No, we lost her. I think when the movie came out,
December of 2017.
2017. Oh yeah, we lost her. No, she was still with us for another 10 days. So she passed away the 27th. In
2017.
Yep.
Okay. So she was in a coma. She had some problems around the release of the movie. And there's a moment in this movie where the bridge of her destroyer is blown up and she is sucked into space. Yes. And so this is the quote Mary Poppins scene. This is the moment. Okay. 32 minutes into the movie that I gave up on the movie.
Yeah.
This is where it's over for me. And, this is where we get to see Leia actually use her force powers. And I thought, what a way for her to go out.
Yeah.
Her ship is blown up. She's sucked into space. She's gone. And by the time I saw the movie, she had already passed away. But nonetheless, yeah, this was the movie. This is the moment that took me out of the movie. I honestly, from here on out, this is like me seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
I have seen this movie only one time all the way through, and that was when my wife and I bought it on iTunes. I remember right before, I always liked it. My tradition at Comic-Con San Diego is to do nothing but quote nerd movies all week long to kind of get me into the mood and stuff like that. And I remember I watched this. I fell asleep to this movie one time, and I think I lasted 5 minutes into this movie. So I've never seen this movie from beginning to end, other than the very first time. This will be the second time. So, all right, news and notes. Great week for the other half of Disney. WandaVision made its triumphant debut on Disney Plus on Friday night with not one but two episodes, the pilot and the second episode. It was released around midnight on Friday night, much like they do with The Mandalorian.
Yep.
It will run until March 5th, so that will tell you more or less how many episodes we're getting. So right about, 8 to 10 episodes, probably?
9.
9 episodes. So similar to that of The Mandalorian. The difference between this and The Mandalorian is The Mandalorian ran about 40 minutes to an hour. These are running about 26 minutes to 30 minutes. So these are a typical sitcom run. So a lot of information to get crammed into a 26 to 30 minute episode because, again, these are being shot very cinematically, but at the same time with WandaVision, it's got that old TV vibe. Now, for those of you who have not seen WandaVision's episodes 1 and 2, spoiler alert, or JR, you haven't seen it?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, so never mind then. We'll skip it.
Go.
Abort mission. No.
Good. I don't have my
great. It's great. First two episodes are fantastic. They very much delve into, this is the only thing I'll say. They delve into kind of a, if people are looking for what is the theme of the episode, the pilot episode, very much Dick Van Dyke, 50s episode. The second episode, going it with kind of a Bewitched kind of a vibe. So if anybody's seen those old shows on like Nick at Night and whatnot. So nonetheless, JR, you can put the old headphones back in there. It's a good show. It really makes you think. Okay, this is a comic book show. You're looking at everything. You're watching every frame. You are looking for Easter eggs because this is a show. I think this isn't giving anything away. This show is where the Easter eggs mean something. They're there for a reason. They're not there for a cheap plug. They're not there for a cheap pop. I think everything there is there for a reason. And I honestly believe we are getting a taste, not the full meal. We are getting a taste of House of M. Okay. I really think we are. I think we're gonna see themes of the House of M. Maybe we're not gonna see the full snap. Who knows? We could. I don't know. It's good, and it's fun, it's lighthearted, and you get through the sitcom. I remember watching the first episode going, okay, this is kind of cool. It's, old Dick Van Dyke theme, but when are they going to get to the Marvel side of it? And they give you in just enough to go, I need more. Damn it.
I'm probably.
But oh god, it's what's her name? It's
Oh.
pew pew. Laura Dern.
Yeah, her character.
Sorry, I love
Holdo?
Laura Dern. I'm a huge Jurassic Park nerd. Um,
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here, okay, so we're gonna go back just a little bit for Laura Dern. Like, here's the thing.
why do I keep looking at the screen? Why do I keep looking at the screen?
Why was she given the commander role?
I don't
when
know.
there were when there were literally other commanders there that were in fights before her.
Why does she have purple hair?
I don't know, man. No, here's the thing. That's the indication of, like, I don't know when the Me Too movement and the or I know when the Me Too movement happened, but like I don't know when the I don't know if it was the feminist movement or the continual feminist movement or some part of the democratic ideology where they took upon, like, oh, we should really just dye hair different colors. I don't know when that happened. Like, the only well, and this is coming from me, who's a K-pop fan. Yes, I'm a fan of K-pop, and them boys and girls have all different hairstyles, and they all do, the greens and the blues and the blacks and the purples. So I don't know when that happened. I don't know if they're K-pop fans as well, and they just said, hey, I think purple hair looks great on us, so let's just do all have purple and pink hair. Don't know when that happened. I really don't. But at the same time, I'm giving her a pass. I would have gave her a pass anyway because, like, oh, this is Star Wars. They have that anyway. But like. But I do know that the feminist movement the feminist movement and a lot of women in entertainment, they took her as a pivot point for, like, a strong character, and with purple hair. So I don't know when that happened, especially when the classification of commander of the rebel regime, the rebel army, should have went to I forgot his name. It's a trap. General. It's gonna bother me now, but he was there.
He was
literally there.
I think this is one of his last movies.
Yeah. He was literally there. Admiral Akbar. There you go.
Admiral Akbar. There you go.
Admiral Akbar was there. Like, what the heck? Like, yo, he was there. Like, he was there with more fight. It should have went to him, but whatever. Okay, let's give her a shot. I've never heard of her in any type of role prior to this.
Well, we are at the moment where we see Rose and Finn meet for the first time, and I had no problem with Rose's character. I will say this from beginning to end. I thought she was a fun character. I think that the nerds unnecessarily gave her shit. Just stop. Just stop. To the point where you have to force a girl off of social media. I mean, what are you saying? That she plays like Ben Affleck says, fictional characters. They're fictional characters. Come on, guys. They're playing make believe. It's as like JR says on his podcast for wrestling. It's play fighting. People, come on. She plays a character. If you don't like her, get over it. Attack Ryan Johnson if you want to, or Kathleen Kennedy. Or go for Bob Iger. Who gives a shit? But leave freaking what's her name alone. I'm just like, God dang. Yeah. Let's get to something that's more important. Talk about Oscar Isaac. Sidetrack. We're gonna just divert this ship real quick before I go off the deep end.
No.
Oscar.
Wait. Let me just have a comment on. Let me just have a comment on Kelly Marie Tran.
I couldn't remember her name. Sorry.
Kelly Marie Tran. I'm not indifferent towards your character. I just feel like she was used wrongly.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
She was used wrongly. She has proper motivations. Her sister died on the first bombing run. Yeah, that should tell you something. She's motivated. She's in the rebellion, right? That she was supposed to be seen as a tragic character as well as a redeeming character. Not a redeeming character, but she has nothing to necessarily need to redeem anything. It's more so that she is the character that you should root for. And in cases of this, I did try to root for her until, of course, the last portion of the movie where, like, that's just unnecessary. Where it was unnecessary. We'll get to that point too. But yeah, like
we'll get there.
The other crap freaking involved, dude, with Kelly Marie Tran and not her freaking character, irritated the hell out of me because it just paints a stupid depiction of, like, oh, dude, these nerds, they I can't believe that they get mad over nerd shit. I'm like, Yeah, motherfucker, we do. But at the same time, the nerd anger pointed towards Kelly is like, it's totally fucking no, that's not fucking cool, dude. It's totally unwarranted. Like, yeah, dude, the one thing that I absolutely do hate of the new age of today's technology, quote unquote, is that yeah, it's just horrendous how the mob, the online mob, can get a hold, and whatever their division is, or whatever their gripe is, they put it on a singular person, when it shouldn't been given to Kelly Marie. It should be on Rian Johnson, to totally be honest with you. It should be on him, because guess what? He threw away the original script, and he threw away the original. He threw it away. He wrote the damn script for Last Jedi. He did his own freaking thing. And so the way the character of what's her character's name? It's
Rose.
It's Rose. Yeah, of Rose, is that he wrote her this way. That's bad freaking writing.
Yes.
Right? It's absolutely bad. It's not on her. She just acts out the scene. It's not her freaking fault at all. Honestly, all the shit that Rose did in the film should be then imposed on the writer, not the actress. I will say that. And I do. That's the reason why I freaking hate Rey, not Daisy Ridley, because of how Rey is written in the freaking movie. I got love for Daisy Ridley. I want her to work more. I got love for all these actors and actresses in this freaking movie. But some of these characters, man, the way they're freaking made, I hate it. I actually freaking hate it, because it's how horribly written they were. That's it. But onward to better things, like Kevin said. Until we, of course, we're on. You'll see a lot, guys, during this podcast. We'll go up, then we'll go freaking down, then we'll go up, then we'll go freaking down. We're gonna be a little bit bipolar this week. We'll be a little bit bipolar in this podcast. So
a little bit.
Here we go.
Hey, just to throw it out there, this is coming off of comicbookmovie.com. Just came out earlier this afternoon. Zack Snyder's Justice League, the director's cut, the Snyder cut, is no longer going to be a 4-part miniseries. It is going to be a one-time only, full-fledged cinematic release. So it had been talked about being a 2-parter, then a 4-parter, but it says here, according to comicbookmovie.com, Zack Snyder's Justice League will now be released as a movie and not a 4-part miniseries.
Who the hell is going to watch a 4-hour movie?
I don't know who's going to watch. I mean, we're glutton for punishment. Speaking of Oscar Isaac, of course, will be the titular character in the new Moon Knight series on Disney Plus. That is, yes, I believe, currently in pre-production. That movie is looking like a 2022 release. But it was announced that a major character or major actor will be added to the cast for the Moon Knight series, and it is a good one. One of my favorite roles that this guy has ever played was in Training Day. I think it's a fantastic movie, completely underrated movie. People, underrated. There's a lot of people that hate on it, that really didn't like Denzel in it because he would play such a prick. And I thought that's his range as an actor. And I think he plays a better jackass than he plays to me, him playing a nice guy like in Remember the Titans, which he was amazing in, is unbelievable. But it still shows his range as an actor. But again, if you've never seen Training Day, it's not safe for kids by any stretch of the imagination, but an absolutely fantastic film. And you must watch it. And the reason, a lot of it has to do with the co-star, and that is Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke is has been announced to be playing a role of some sort in the new Moon Knight series for Disney Plus. Some were saying that he has joined the cast to play the main villain in the upcoming show. Also joining the cast is Ivy Calamay.
I think I got her name wrong. Let me continue again.
But nonetheless, this is a show that a lot of Marvel fans have been waiting for, because I really think that Mark Spector is going to have an effect on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, much like Stephen Strange did. Now, I know that Mark Spector and Stephen Strange are completely two different types of superheroes. We're seeing, obviously, Stephen Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. He's introducing magic and sorcery into wizardry into the universe, and Mark Spector is adding. We don't know, because much like his character in the comic books, where is he nuts? Is he inhabited by the moon god? Was it Ra?
No, it's not Ra, it's someone else. But I hope they go the 2016, 2015.
Well, they have said that he is very much going to toe the line of he's legitimately a god or he's nuts. We do know that Mark Spector, the character, does suffer from bipolar disease and I believe schizophrenia and multiple personalities, much like the Hulk and Bruce Banner. Very Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of a situation. But the thing is with the Hulk, he does physically take form as the Hulk, and he physically before the Professor Hulk merger, there was Bruce Banner and there was the Hulk. In the comic books, it toes the line between does Moon Knight really exist? It is a figment of Mark Spector's imagination or whatnot. But like JR said, there's multiple storylines that they can pull from. Most notably the most recent run, like you said, it was a 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
From Marvel. So we will see what they do, but they have very much said when Kevin Feige announced a D23 in 2000, I think it was 2019.
Yeah.
That he is a character that suffers from multiple personalities, schizophrenia, and bipolar. And we don't know if he is inhabited by the moon god or he's just nuts. And that's like a direct quote from Kevin Feige. So it should be a very interesting character. Obviously, Poe Dameron, Oscar Isaac is playing Mark Spector, aka Moon Knight, and again, going to be playing off Ethan Hawke.
And the other actress who is involved with Moon Knight is actually is May. For some reason, I don't know why I put Ivy. Is actually May Kalamaway. She was actually in her recent the most recent movie or the recent project she was in was called Remy, who that is I think a Hulu Plus. Okay. Is a Hulu Plus show. So yeah, those two actors have now been added to those two. Those two actors have been added to the fold for Moon Knight, and I am super excited. I really do hope they do the storyline where Mark Spector is in New York and he is actually in an asylum ward. He's in an asylum. And they get him there for schizophrenia, and they think it's crazy, and that the second he puts his mask, quote unquote mask on, is that he sees the world in a different light, and that the wards there, the people who are there, are actually the enemy of the enemies and the service of an enemy god, and he sees New York that's just that is just sunken in sand, sunken in like sunken in sand, like like it's in Egypt, and he sees pyramids, and he sees I forget his god that he follows is not Ra, but it's a different god. I will get back to you for that, man. But yeah, I really do hope they do the 2015, 2016 run, man, because that run was freaking amazing.
And it seems like they are using the old back issues, so to speak,
which I hope they do.
They're using the back issues for character setup, backstory, origin stories. That's what I was looking for. But they're going forward, their storyline, their character arc is very much enriched in modern issues. I'd be really, really curious as to see where Feige takes the X-Men universe when it comes out, because what Bryan Singer was able to do with the X-Men universe was a beautiful amalgamation of the old 1960s Stan Lee, Jack Kirby X-Men run, and also sprinkling a little bit of the Jim Lee 90s run where he was at the writing helm, and also dust in a little Chris Claremont, and then move into maybe a little bit of the mid to late 90s, because you understand that the X-Men 1 came out in 2000, so they were only dealing with, and they've done so much with the X-Men in the last 20 years. So it's really curious where Feige goes. And when you do have guys like Tanahashi Coates and modern writers working on staff with their respective films, they have got a little touch of the modern. So
yes, and also I also want to add on to the fact too, the Egyptian god that Mark Spector actually is the avatar for is Khonshu.
Khonshu,
in the comics is Khonshu, and I hope they make the depiction of Khonshu. I hope the modern depiction of Khonshu is there in the film, in the run, dude, because it's basically a raven head in a business suit, and I freaking love it. I freaking love it. It's literally a white business suit, really decked out, and his head is just basically a raven head, and I'm like, oh yes, please, God, yes. And so, yeah, dude, I'm super excited for it. I like the Oscar Isaac choice took me by surprise, but a really great surprise, man.
It did too, because a lot of people were anxious to see what Marvel is going to do with Keanu Reeves. Now he has had multiple meetings over the last 3 years or so with Marvel about what role Keanu is going to play. Keanu has been connected with playing characters as early on in this casting rumor mill as playing Frank Castle. There was talk of him playing Frank Castle, in the vein of John Wick, his most famous character as of late. Though I don't think anyone could beat John Bernthal right now.
No.
And by the way, with a lot of in this cancel culture, we're not going to get political. And that's another thing too that we're going to address in 2021 is going to try to make it more positive on this show, despite what we're watching. Leave the politics for the talking heads on cable television, because they're the idiots that can talk about it, not us. We talk about nerd shit. The only argument we're going to have on this show is who shot first. We all know it was Han.
No, I will say this: the second we do talk about politics is usually when Loki runs for president.
There you go. That's coming up in Loki. That's coming up in 2 months. The cancel culture about getting rid of Punisher. A lot of people wanting to call Marvel to cancel the Punisher. And John Bernthal said it best. No, just leave it for the freaking comic books and the TV shows, okay? Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Look over here for the Punisher. Here for the Punisher.
Yeah.
And I'm right there. Yeah. The skull, it's badass. It's a metal freaking awesome logo. And I've put it on stuff. I'm cool, dude. I remember I made a Punisher logo for out of guns on my Call of Duty avatar. Like I just whatever. It's iconic.
Yeah,
I get where it went. Whatever. Not going to get into that. But Bernthal said it best.
Let me get into it. Can I get into it?
It's just.
This is my opinion, right? Here's the thing. One, you leave alone, and two, you have no freaking clue what that symbol symbolizes.
Yeah, nobody really knows. Except for comic book fans.
And here's the thing about it, right? The more current run, the more modern run of Punisher, the writer for the book himself, the name escapes me at the moment, right?
Yeah, he was on Twitter.
He's on Twitter saying like the cops who use the Punisher shirt have no freaking clue what they're doing. Because one, the Punisher is supposed to be unhinged. He is a derelict. He's unhinged. He's out of touch with reality, and he's literally a hero killer, a hero / killer.
He is a vigilante he takes it to the literal point.
No, like the point, he crosses the point multiple freaking times.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the Punisher that people need to freaking realize, and the reason why cops epitomize him, right, is the same reason why the left epitomizes Captain Marvel. They have no freaking clue of their origin stories.
Yeah.
The way that cops epitomize Punisher is the same reason why some people on the left or some people or the feminist movement, how they idolize Captain Marvel. One, Captain Marvel is a authoritarian who wants to control everybody by force. People don't realize that because all they do is watch the movie. The cops, they love the Punisher because one, he's badass. He hunts down all the criminals, not forgetting the fact that one, he also hunts down and kills and try to kill Spider-Man. Two, he tried to kill all the heroes too. And then three, after the end, after a certain comic book series, right? He kills everybody.
Yeah.
He kills it. Like, you don't you need to read the comics. The Punisher is not supposed to be a good guy. He's not supposed to symbolize the police officer. It's from so many freaking times in the book. He says the police officers are different from him. They're better than him because he kills people. And that's the thing that needed.
Here's the best way to sum up the Punisher is Batman is a vigilante, but Batman doesn't kill. Batman has always said he will not cross that line, because the second he crosses that line,
too easy.
He's no better than the villains. Batman uses his abundance of intellect to be the great detective that he is, and find a way to bring in the bad guy unharmed.
Mm-hmm.
He'll kick some ass. He'll punch you in the face. Mm-hmm. He'll rough you up. He ain't going to kill you.
Yeah.
Frank Castle is a lot like, if anybody who's ever seen Kevin Smith's Dogma and the two archangels that come to Earth and they take God's word literally, which is what we're supposed to do, but they go, nope, you sinned, you die. And I remember there's a scene where they murder an entire office conference room because of, you cheated on your wife, you cheated on your taxes, you crossed the street without going through the crosswalk. They take it too literal and kill these people. And Frank Castle is that. Frank Castle is you messed with this girl over here, you roughed up this girl over here, you're gonna die. He takes vigilantism to the to the nth degree.
And I just want to throw one example of the current not the current Frank Castle, but like during his stint in Vietnam, right? Like the war game, I think it was called War Games or something like that, right?
Yes. War Journal.
There you go. I think it was in War Journal or someone else where he was with a certain squadron, right? They're going through the jungles of Vietnam, and one of their squad mates or a couple of their squad mates get hit by a sniper fire, right? They find who the sniper is, right? And they find out who the sniper is, and I think he was late. The sniper was laid upon one of the trees, right? They shoot down the tree. It's a woman sniper, and then right after that, one of the guys attempted to rape her in front of everybody. Frank and the thing about the story is that it's not told by Frank's perspective. It's told from a different soldier's perspective, right? And the soldier was was saying like, oh, we should stop him, but like at the same time, the guy's like, why? It's a freaking Viet Cong who just killed 3 of our people. Let's just we'll just rape her and kill her, right? Frank stops that, right? Says no, no, he stops that and says something else, right? We're only here to no. He shoots the Viet Cong. Frank shoots the Viet Cong woman, right? He goes, no, we're only here to kill, not rape. That's it, right? Literally about 5 minutes later, that same guy who's gonna rape her, he's washing his face in the river. Frank comes up from behind him and drowns him in the river. Kills his own squad member in the river and drowns him. And that's just basically Frank is, right? That is who he is.
If you want to see who Frank Castle is without going into comic book form, I cannot, and I repeat, cannot recommend enough season 2 of Daredevil on Netflix and season 1 of The Punisher on Netflix. Season 2 was good. It was good. I recommend all 3 parts. Daredevil season 2, Punisher's season 1 and 2. Punisher season 1 is an amazing storyline. Mm-hmm. And it shows you for a moment where you go, God dang, I kind of root for Frank Castle. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you this, it is David, oh God dang it, I can't think of his name now. As soon as I said his name, David. You're
talking about
the guy who wrote The Sopranos. Now I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah,
freaking.
I'm gonna forget. Yeah,
but the way the Punisher is written, the way the Punisher is done in seasons 1, is David Chase. David Chase is the creator and writer of The Sopranos. Yeah. Mm. The way season 1 of the Punisher is written makes you, much like you do with The Sopranos, root for Tony Soprano. Tony Soprano is a maniacal, chauvinistic, murderous, egocentric womanizer
who has sex with his cousin.
I don't think he does.
No, the therapist is his second cousin.
And it never addresses that.
Yeah, you don't.
Jennifer Malfi is never. I've watched, dude. You're talking. Well, I mean, they're all from the boot, but nonetheless, okay. But for 8 seasons, you root for Tony Soprano, and there's a moment in the last episode of The Sopranos where the FBI agent, the head FBI agent, who's been chasing Tony Soprano for 8 seasons, goes, "Hot damn, we're going to win this one," because he talks about. And I'm not going to give it away because it's an amazing show where they talk about a pivotal moment where Tony gets the upper hand. The Soprano family gets the upper hand. And Tony Soprano is very much like Frank Castle. They make you want to root for the bad guy. Frank Castle is a bad guy. And with that said, I really hope that they bring John Bernthal and Frank Castle back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which it sounds like they want to. Yeah. But we do know this real quick. I do want to throw this in there before we get to the next news and notes, which, by the way, have we reached the halfway point? We're close. Allegedly, Charlie Cox has finished filming his scenes for Spider-Man 3. There has been zero official acknowledgement from the director of Spider-Man 3. We have no information about it. We just know that there is a sequel in production, and that is going to take place after Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which, by the way, we all know is being directed by Sam Raimi, who directed the original original Spider-Man trilogy. Yep. But no, we do know that Charlie Cox allegedly has filmed his scenes already for Spider-Man 3, the untitled Tom Holland sequel in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We do not know yet either how much of the multiverse is going to be exposed. We haven't seen anything else filmed in regards of Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire or anything else. But nonetheless, this movie is going to be insane. Talking about cameos. What's up?
I wonder. I just want to continue to go back on that point of Spider-Man 3. What if to try to do a workaround with Spider-Man, specifically since Sony and Marvel are sharing the character still inherently. I wonder if they continue to do that down this path with an older Spider-Man and possibly even maybe still keep Andrew Garfield, maybe still keep Tobey Maguire in a certain sense of like, okay, let's have a different variation on that Spider-Verse type of style. What if Tobey Maguire stays with Tom Holland Spider-Man and becomes that, like, you know, during like what they did with Into the Spider-Verse, while also possibly, because I'm pretty sure I've had rumors that Andrew Garfield still wants to be freaking Spider-Man.
Yeah, and there's talk that that Tobey Maguire, because of his age, is going to be very much that role that we saw in Into the Spider-Verse, where he kind of is the older aged. Got the gut going, and he's going to be the role model. But we do know that that's one of the roles specifically that Stephen Strange is going to be playing in Spider-Man 3. We do know that Benedict Cumberbatch is also going to be in this movie as a, quote, role model for Spider-Man, which is very unique because the last time we saw Peter Parker and Stephen Strange interact, they were using their made up names.
Yeah.
So it should be very interesting.
Dude, I'm telling you, I wonder if just kind of sense point. I wonder if Andrew Garfield, like, here's the nerd in me hoping and wishing and praying, right, to the Marvel gods, to Kevin Feige, is that I wonder if then the Spider-Man they would possibly have in the Venom universe would possibly go to, hopefully, willingly, Andrew Garfield. What if he's part of that Spider-Verse type of thing?
We do know that we still have yet to see Venom and Carnage, the Venom 2 sequel. We're still getting Morbius, which we know has a cameo from the Vulture. So we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff to get to in 2021 with 2 quote Spider-Verse movies. There's a lot that's going to take place. Real quick, one of the other things that did not get put into the news and notes, but I do want to make a point about, was unofficially this past week, the Hollywood Reporter announced that Chris Evans has signed a new deal with Marvel to return and a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is assumed that he is coming back to play Captain America. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Yep.
In no article, first off, it's not been officially announced by Marvel. This is a report coming from the Hollywood Reporter or Variety. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah.
Okay. It does say in the report that he is coming back to the Marvel Universe to play Captain America. Okay. If that's the case, if he's coming back to play Captain America, so let's go word for word. He's coming back to play Cap. It's a flashback scene.
Mm-hmm.
One can only assume. Okay. Now, let's assume that the idiots at the Hollywood Reporter are just generalizing, saying Chris Evans is coming back to Marvel. He's playing Captain America. Mm-hmm. Well, we do know that Captain America, the role of Captain America, has gone to Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson. Mm-hmm. And of course, there has been a toy leak that has shown you a comic book accurate Falcon Captain America. It looks badass. Looks so awesome. Okay. So let's assume that they're just assuming he's coming back to play Captain America and that they didn't really look into it and that Chris Evans is just coming back to play Marvel. How about this? We know there's a shit ton of multiverse coming out in Phase 4. Chris Evans is coming back to the multiverse, coming back to Marvel to play. You guessed it. He's coming back to play Johnny Storm. How freaking awesome would that be? How awesome would that be? Chris Evans is signing back up to play in the Marvel Sandbox, and he's coming back to play the Human Torch in a multiverse.
He signed on for 8 movies. No, he signed on for eight appearances in a film, but it's only 4 movies. Right? So he's gonna be Johnny Storm in like 2 of those movies, right? But at the same time, he's gonna interact with Old Man Cap in 2 of those movies. I'm gonna freaking love it, if that's the case, man. Like, now, dude, let me go ahead. No, go. What's your point? Because I think my point will be like to put him to.
Here's my theory. Here's my theory.
Okay.
And it's no secret from the trailers that we've seen that the big brother of S.H.I.E.L.D., Sword, is going to make its premiere in WandaVision. It's been teased. Spoiler alert, it is teased in the first 2 episodes. That's all I'm going to say. I think it's no secret. You can't have Sword without S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
S.H.I.E.L.D., from the movie standpoint, the last time we saw S.H.I.E.L.D. in a modern version was at the end of Age of Ultron. And that was when the helicarrier comes out above the cloud, and Pietro says, he goes, "What is this?" And Captain America says, "That's S.H.I.E.L.D." He goes, "That's what S.H.I.E.L.D.'s supposed to be." So that's one of the last times we get to see S.H.I.E.L.D. referenced in the movies in a modern take. It's obviously referenced in Captain Marvel in its past sense, prior to the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D., which took place in Captain America: Winter Soldier. We do know from the TV side that Shield existed in a lower capacity, where it did answer. It was in the public eye. It answered directly to the president. It did have its own new director in the form of I can't remember what the guy's name is, but he was the Patriot in that series.
Yeah.
And then so that was the last time it was seen in the public eye as this new kind of shiny beacon of espionage, so to speak. But then it kind of went underground. By the end of Agents of Shield, the TV show, Shield was very much underground, and we really have not seen Shield as we know it. That of course the Strategic Homeland Intervention. Intervention, blah blah blah, logistics division. I can't remember the E. Enforcement. Anyways, we have not seen Shield in that form since Age of Ultron, which is Phase 2. Hear me out. Mm-hmm. Chris Evans is coming back. Mm-hmm. Old Man Rogers is coming back.
Yeah,
to be the head of Shield.
Yeah, of course. That's
he did it in the comic books.
Yeah, that's the most logical step. Old Man Shield will helm. Old Man Rogers will helm the high director position of Shield for a good while until possibly they do. Actually, I don't know. It might spoil it. It might honestly spoil into possible WandaVision is gonna probably be is that that in the Old Man Cap run, he did not know that Shield was housing a majority of the villains, his villains particularly, right, in a contained space where they're part of this.
Oh fuck! What was it called?
Yeah, they're part of this. Yeah, Pleasantville. This dome.
Is it Pleasantville?
I think so. Yeah, like
I don't have to look it up. You go.
Yeah, they are. Most of the villains, Captain Nemo or something Nemo.
Captain Nemo.
Not Captain Nemo, but like something. I'm a couple beers in here, right, dude? Don't.
So am I, bro.
But yeah, him. I think Red Skull was in there too. I think they're in like 3 or 4, maybe actually way more.
Pleasant Hill.
Yeah, like a majority of I guess you would call like the C to D-list villains, right? That Shield can basically kind of handle. Were put in Pleasantville, and it looked like a sitcom. It legit looked like a sitcom. You know, they knew each other's names. They were, they have family members. They have, they have jobs, and it looked like old school 1950s America, where where little Jimmy goes to school and stuff. But little Jimmy is actually that terrorist who blew up like 5 schools or some crazy stuff, right? That was it. That was it in the Marvel Universe. And then Old Man Cap found out about this, said, no, that's not right. That's horrible. That's a different type of torture you give somebody. And so Old Man Cap goes there, finds out the reason why Pleasantville actually exists is because of this the cube, the cosmic cube actually became sentient. It was a little girl, and she had the power to change. She had the power to change Pleasantville, right? Touch Captain America, and he became young Captain America. But actually, he was evil young Captain America.
He was Hydra Cap.
He was Hydra Cap.
Yeah. But that's a great run, by the way. That's Mark. That's what's his name? That is a Nick Spencer run on all different that's Avengers. Right. Great run. It was at the height of modern writing. Was that run? Yeah. That was back in June of 2016. Was Standoff at Pleasant Hill, Alpha and Omega. Yeah. And again, I highly recommend it. But that was a great run too. That all new, all different Avengers run. But I think that was what was Roger. Steve was the head of Shield, but Maria Hill was the one who set up Pleasant Hill, I believe. Yep. I think Maria Hill is the one who set up Pleasant Hill, much to the chagrin of Steve Rogers, and it led to Steve Rogers stepping down as the head of Shield and Maria Hill taking over, and then actually the if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. No,
I
yes.
think too the actions of Pleasant Hill and the Fallout, which was Hydra Cap and Secret Empire, led to the trial of Maria Hill.
Yeah.
Her being.
Yeah, and actually,
shield.
Yeah, and also Nick Spencer, the creator of the writer of that run of the new
all new,
whole
all
run,
different.
basically all new, all different, basically, right? He also helmed the first, of course. He also helmed the first run of Captain America after that, so he knew exactly what he was doing.
That's
when he
right. No, did he do Hydra Cap?
He did Hydra Cap. He's the one that did Hydra Cap. 2016, baby. I have it right here. He also did Captain America Sam Wilson. So that was
That's right.
Yeah, he did. Captain America Steve Rogers, 2016 and 2017. Steve Rogers 1 through 19. So he had a hell of a time on Pleasantville arc, as well as Captain America Sam Wilson, and as well as the first Steve Rogers.
Did he do all new, all different?
I think he did, dude. I think he did. I just know the fact that he did Secret Avengers. He did he's doing right now during the current run. I think he still should be on the current run of Spider-Man after Dan Slott, which
Mark Wade did all new, all different Avengers. For the most part. I'm scrolling through here. Mark Wade
did Avengers. I know.
Mark Wade did Avengers. But that was kind of at the same time as Nick Spencer. And I really think that the two of them were heavily working together.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the Marvel guys do. But
I had to. Well, unless when you're back in Marvel, unless your name is, he who will not be named.
I can't remember his name. I blocked that out of my memory.
Honestly, I was kind of hoping you helped me out because I kind of forgot his name too.
The guy that did Deadpool?
No, not Deadpool. He's doing your guy. He did
Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah, unless you're Brian Michael Bendis, I have no clue and don't give a damn about continuity.
What really pisses me off about Bendis. I'm gonna. This is the train wreck show. This might be where the podcast fucking ends. But at the same time, this could be one of the best episodes we've ever done because we're fucking supposed to be doing a watch along, and we have done a great job at completely ignoring this movie.
Yes.
I'm literally sitting 2 feet away from this movie, wide awake, and I still haven't seen this movie for the second time.
I'm dead.
Oh my god, Brian Michael Bendis.
Okay.
Brian Michael Bendis does a 6-part Superman series on his first trip over to.
He does 2 runs of Superman. Yeah, he does Superman and he also did freaking
Man of Steel.
Yeah. No. He did 3 then. He did because he does Action Comics.
That's right, he did Action Comics. So there is a why do we keep going back to that scene? God damn. I really hate this movie. I'm gonna have to watch it again. Anyways, Bendis does a Superman run at DC, and they changed the title sequence. It used to be this kind of like spread out. It kind of started small and kind of damn it. The Superman title sequence. Well, then they changed it to this arc Superman, and it just and I know that it has nothing to do with Brian Michael Bendis, but Future State adopted, and I don't have it because I didn't get like for example, I'm going to use this book for example. It's Eternals, but they use the Superman logo is kind of like this. So just imagine Superman in this kind of arc font, so to speak.
Yeah,
and that's the new Superman logo. And the first issue they adopted that new logo was Bendis's run. Well, they've kept it for Future State. So I'm in the store, I'm in Comic Asylum looking at books, and I'm still a Superman fan. I will be a Superman fan to the day I die. And good. I thought they did it with Superwoman, but they didn't. They're still using the damn logo. They're still using the freaking logo. And it just reminds me of Bendis. I know Bendis had nothing to do with it. That's marketing. but it just bugs the shit out of me, and it just reminds me of all the crap that Bendis has done to that character. And
I forgot the term, but like you associate a certain thing, it becomes all that. I forgot exactly the term. Yeah, it's just, there's not a specific term, but I forgot what it's called. But yeah, just Brian Michael Bendis, and then just the things that he put his hands on.
Look, it's Yoda.
The things that Brian Michael Bendis does, he's literally, I can't even come a coin flip at this point, right? It's like a 75-25% type of thing, right? 75%, right? It's probably bad. 25%, it might be really freaking good, right? Because for every Civil War 1 and 2 we get, right? For every Civil War 1 and 2 we get, we possibly get an alias, right? For every, I honestly can't think of, for every Superman and all-star Superman and all-star comics he does, right? We possibly get a good look into his universe that he created. Like Scarlet. Scarlet was actually really freaking good.
Scarlet was good.
Scarlet was good.
Oh my gosh, he did 2 other.
Yeah, those were good, right? When he's giving characters, right? That is not established. I gotta really put that
exactly when he is creating characters and creating original content. He is a good writer. Miles Morales, Jessica Jones.
Let's not start. No, Miles.
He created Miles.
He created Miles, but his story was friggin' horrible because he wrote from a perspective that is not his own, and it had to be cleaned up severely. Because I'm telling you right now, my dude,
a lot of it did. I mean, you look at you look at Spider-Man, for example.
Yeah.
Stan Lee created Spider-Man.
Yeah.
However, it was not enough credit is given to Steve Ditko for what he did with Spider-Man. I know it did from an artistic standpoint, but the character of Spider-Man was not flushed out until well after Stan Lee left the writing. Same thing with the X-Men. He created the X-Men and stuff like that, but Claremont really put his finger on it and really flushed out the character, because X-Men was cool. It's like, whoa, mutants, this is badass. But if you look at the X-Men books in the single and double digit issue run, like the first 100 books, they were toilet paper. It was terrible.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing I'm talking about. Like you're giving credit for creating character, but at the same time, I read that book series, and the actual inheritance of that character wasn't given out, or the actual the way we, well, honestly, the way we view Miles now, like literally now, is because it's Into the Spider-Verse. Period. The way that they
screw up Yoda. It looks like Miss Piggy.
I know. The way they did Into the Spider-Verse, right, was how Michael Bendis should have wrote him. It was not the case. The writing for the original run of the writing for the original Man of Ultimate Spider-Man, when Miles Morales took over, wasn't that great. It wasn't great at all. But I will say this about Michael Bendis, and I'm thankful that he did this, right? As long as the character is not established, he'll most likely do great. And when we get to Alias, when we get to what's her name? I can't think right now.
Jessica Jones.
When we get to Jessica Jones, right? The original Jessica Jones was so freaking different from her. And I think she was made in what, 1970?
No, that's the thing. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones is an original character created in the 2000s by Bendis. But Jessica Jones, he did such a great job. He's so good at creating that he gave such a great backstory to Jessica Jones that you're right. You forget, you get lost in her backstory. In the back, what JR is talking about.
You're correct.
What he's talking about is the backstory of Jessica Jones is before Jessica's accident, before she got her powers. She was a student at Midtown High, along with Peter Parker. She went to the same school as Peter Parker. Matter of fact, she had a crush on Peter Parker. And that's why I was like, I so wish that Marvel had the playground, the sandbox to play in with the Spider-Man universe before they went in production of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, well,
because Jessica Jones could have been, which was a magnificent, almost perfect TV series. the first season. I've never season 2 was okay. I've never seen season 3. I saw one episode of season 3 when I went to the premiere. Okay. But what it could have been had they had the sandbox of sorry.
Yeah, but I said, but that also just goes into my point where like when he's given original characters, right? When he has his own hand on original characters, right? Where he's able to just play around and do his own story as a writer, and he's not attached to like a previous canon. He does well. And I see this a lot in his work, and where like he just forgoes continuity and tries to do his own thing. But you can't do that when the characters you're doing with, a la Captain Marvel. Actually, he did pretty decent with Captain Marvel. A la Iron Man, a la Captain America, a la freaking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right? He does freaking well when he's given an original character. When he's given a character that he can just play around with, his stories are really well done. But when I feel like that's the same comparison, or that's the same bar that's given with every writer nowadays, right? With your Nick Spencers, with your Tasha, with your Coates, with your with your Donny Cates, right? Donny Cates does this so freaking well. They see established continuity. They go deep into it, and they try to form it into some type of not plot, but like they put it in a plot where it makes sense, and I freaking love that. So I don't understand why. I just can't understand why Michael Bendis can't do that. The dude can write his ass off. It's that when established characters come into play, he just blanks for some dumbass reason. And that's it. Let's go on to the next point.
Yeah, by the way, we're only halfway through news and notes.
Yes.
And we are beyond the halfway point of this movie. Matt Damon is back for Thor: Love and Thunder. For those of you people going like, wait, what? Matt Damon is back for more Thor? When was Matt Damon in Thor? Well, if you blinked, you missed it. Let's see. Matt Damon was in Thor Ragnarok, playing Loki. He was Loki in the theater version of Thor, when Loki is putting on a little Sunday play in the park, with actors playing his brother. Now, by the way, the guy playing Thor in Thor Ragnarok in the play version is actually Thor's brother. I mean, Chris Hemsworth, his brother.
Yeah.
I think it's not Luke Hemsworth. It's not the other one. It's the younger guy who's never acted before.
It should be the oldest. It should be the oldest.
Is it the oldest?
I think so.
Anyways, it's Chris Hemsworth's brother.
Yeah, there's 3 Hemsworth brothers here.
Yeah, he plays Thor, the theater Thor in Ragnarok, and Matt Damon plays Loki, and for those of you who don't know, Sam Neill, aka Dr. Alan Grant, plays Odin, the Allfather, in the little summer stock show. But Matt Damon is back. Rumors have circulated around the net that Matt Damon is making another cameo appearance in Thor: Love and Thunder, as leaks of his travel logs reveal that he is going to Australia. Now, with the travel, with certain travel bans with the CDC and whatnot still in effect, anybody traveling abroad must be for business and has to go through a whole rigmarole of visas and stuff like that. So for the only reason for a major actor like Matt Damon to be going to Australia is for one of 2 reasons. And that is, one, he is going down there for Thor: Love and Thunder, which of course he has a connection with Taika Waititi. The other one being that I know that there's a major production. I can't think of what it is. It's it's the Elvis movie with Tom Hanks.
That's right.
With who's playing Colonel Parker. But that's where he, of course, contracted COVID back in I think like March or April.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, one would have to assume that the only reason that Matt Damon is going down to Australia is not for pleasure, it's for business, and it's got to be for one of 2 movies, and those are the only 2 movies being filmed right now in Australia.
Yep.
So
I just love the fact that I just love the fact that Marvel got Taika. That's it. Like just their ability to like okay. So I know the fact that the next news and point is going to be on a different IP from a different DC catalog, but I kind of want to just kind of round this about going back to Marvel. I just love the fact now because this one was supposed to go towards our Chris Evans being Captain America point was that I just love the fact that because that Marvel now has become what it is now today, right? Marvel Studios, because if you follow us before, we've talked about in prior podcasts that of how Marvel was before Kevin Feige was given the full reins of everything, where a lot of the stars, I think it was circa 2014, 2013, they didn't want to be in Marvel anymore. Like a lot of the stars back then, right? They did not want to be part of Marvel because Marvel at the time was still its own establishment, had their main CEO guy did not care for the movies really, and so they so the budget I think he's still CEO I think of Marvel. It's just that like his main goal for Marvel as a company, as an entity, wasn't the comics, wasn't the movies, it was actually the toys. And so he used the look of like Marvel movies as a way to sell toys, and it's been widely known for a while. And and I just love the fact, man, that Marvel, that the actors from Marvel now that have done Marvel movies or Marvel films, like, damn, I want to go back to work with Marvel because I love that how Marvel nowadays is really spearheading this whole different iteration of like, oh, just you want to make a movie that does this, go ahead. You want to make you want to make one. Here's the thing: when we were talking about WandaVision before, when oh man, freaking forgetting people's names. But 1 second.
I don't know if this is.
Which one?
I don't think this is the guy's name.
Oh, the
But I know who JR's talking about was the hierarchy for Marvel for the longest time, especially after they were purchased by Disney, which was about 2011, 2000. It was right before Marvel's Avengers, because Avengers is actually produced by Paramount.
Yeah.
Did I just?
What?
My TV just died.
Oh man! Oh, that's so. I feel so sorry for me. We should stop the podcast now and stop watching the movie.
What the?
Okay, so when before Kevin come back.
Yeah, sorry. The movie paused and everything shut down. So
okay. So when Kevin
what was saying is when Disney acquired Marvel Entertainment, the CEO, the head of Marvel Entertainment, was the middleman, and so Kevin Feige had to go to this guy to go to Bob Iger, who was the chairman of the Disney Corporation, and he finally got to a point where he's like, no, enough. Feige, you answer to me. You answer to me on the TV side, and that's where the split with everything got discombobulated with the TV side and whatnot. So Feige started. I can't remember the guy's name, but you're right. The guy who ran Marvel Entertainment was just like, no, this is the way we're going to do things. I don't like these stupid movies. Yet the movies were pushing so much comic books, and merchandise, but. I don't know where we were both going on with this point, but yeah, that's the hierarchy. Was at one point, Feige had to go to a middleman. Here's the most powerful man in Hollywood, Kevin Feige, the lead one of the best producers and storytellers in Hollywood, and he's having to go through a middleman to get to the CEO of Disney.
My point was this.
Yes, sir.
My point was this: that Marvel nowadays, that Marvel has evolved to the point of this, where like people are willing to come back and want to continue to work with Marvel. One, if you remember correctly, not correctly, but if you remember at a time, Elizabeth Olsen, right, was kind of pissed off, was kind of irritated that Captain Marvel was getting her own movies, right, off the bat. Where I don't know if I'm drunk right now. Who's Captain Marvel again? Brie Larson. When Brie Larson came to be, right, she was helmed as the girl for Marvel. She was the one to push it onwards, right? Even though we still had Elizabeth Olsen, even though we had Scarlett Johansson got the movie, right? It was during that time, and so Elizabeth Olsen when there was news saying that, oh, she'll be getting a TV show she'll be getting a TV show for Disney Plus, and Disney Plus was very small back then. So Elizabeth Olsen was like, man, I can't believe that you have Brie Larson getting all these movies. She out of nowhere, she's getting all this promotion, and and we have other stars here that's been here longer. We're getting TV shows, only TV shows. And now fast forward to now, and how huge Disney Plus is, and how huge the Marvel brand is now. This freaking TV show is most likely on par with any freaking movie they put out. As well as all the previous ones. And not only that, but Chris Evans for a long freaking time said that, man, I don't know if I can keep being Captain Marvel or Captain America, right? And for a long time he said, I might retire, I might do this, I might do that. Now we have news of him coming back saying, hey, I love Marvel. Because for the longest freaking time, when Kevin Feige had to answer to two people, right? There was news out that the actors went to RDJ to establish contracts, because they were paying these actors super low. If RDJ was getting paid 12 million, Chris Evans paying maybe 5, maybe 4, maybe even less than that. Scarlett Johansson much less than that. And so when RDJ became that middleman saying, no, you got to talk to me, I want to get these guys paid. And so when Kevin Feige took over everything, everyone got paid. And I love how Marvel is now, while they're willing to be that, where they're willing to be that house to say, you know what, go and do your thing. Here, you want to do this movie? Go ahead. There's still some certain setbacks, specifically with the original creator, the original director of Batman, the original director of the second Strange movie. Of course, there's going to be some hiccups there, but we got Taika Waititi now in the helm of possibly doing more Marvel movies. We have James Gunn back. And so just the amount of Marvel love that I'm giving out to right now for the studios is I can't believe we're living in a time now where the strongest studio out in the entertainment field, right? And the amount of people that want to come to Marvel to do these crazy superhero movies that I freaking love and superhero TV shows that I freaking love are doing it. So I'm like, hell yeah, dude, after this freaking rant fest that we're going to have, I'm going to just go up and watch WandaVision, because I want to feel happy before I go to sleep. So that's probably going to happen,
it's a lot of fun. And the guy I was thinking was Isaac Perlmutter, who is the head of Marvel Entertainment. He is the guy who, for the longest time, Kevin Feige had to answer to before Bob Iger, who was at the time the CEO of the Disney Corporation, finally said, no, Kevin, you are the golden child in Hollywood right now. You come talk to me. Here's my personal cell. You call me whenever the hell you want. Yeah. But Isaac Perlmutter was buddy with I can't think of his name now off the top of my head, who was a head of Marvel Television, and that is where it got really, really mudded up. And that at one point, the main show on the Marvel TV side was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then, of course, you had the Netflix stuff. And it got to the point where they had the civil war between Feige and Perlmutter. The downfall was that TV, and I can't think of who the head of Marvel TV was. I can't think of the guy's name. I could picture his head right now. I can picture his face. I ran into him at Comic-Con in 2019 2019. He ended up like, no, you ain't respond to me now. You Jeff Loeb, who was the executive vice president of Marvel Television.
That's right.
Answered directly to Perlmutter and did no longer worked with Kevin Feige in the Marvel Studios film. So that's why that when it was announced that I think, God dang, when was it? I can't remember what it was, but there was a moment where Feige took complete and utter control. Like anything that was going to be within the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to go through me. And that's when he shut down Marvel Television. They ended all the old contracts, and that's what's going on. I think he's kind of picking and choosing now from all the great IPs that Marvel Television released, and he's going to bring it into the greater sandbox of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I don't know how we chased that rabbit, but let's get back once again on topic. So again, Matt Damon, that's what it was. Congratulations, Matt Damon. Let's see if he ends up in Love and Thunder. It's going to be a great movie because Taika Waititi is involved with it. By the way, speaking of Taika Waititi, don't know us because chase this rabbit real quick. The Mandalorian behind the scenes for season 2 is now available on Disney Plus. Highly recommend watching it. Really, really cool. But you should see season 2 first, before you watch any behind the scenes.
Stop it.
Production of Peacemaker has started. Peacemaker, you're like, what the freak is that? It is the Suicide Squad spinoff. Now, Suicide Squad has yet to even see the light of day. It will on HBO Max sometime in 2021. The James Gunn let out a tweet on the 15th of this month. That's 2 days ago from when we're recording. That during quarantine, he wrote and finished the first season of the spinoff series and are now filming. John Cena will play the titular main character, Christopher Smith, aka the Peacemaker, in this series. Again, we do know that, let me look it up on IMDb, that Suicide Squad will, amongst all the other Warner Brothers movies, will get a straight to HBO Max release. This is scheduled for August 6th, 2021 on HBO Max. So we'll be looking for that this summer. Now, it should be noted real quick before we go any further with James Gunn, Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad, and whatnot. It should be noted, we talked about this on last week's episode, that Wonder Woman 84 released on Christmas Day of last year, December 25th, 2020, and will officially come off of HBO Max in just about a week and a half. It will come off on January 24th. It will be removed from HBO Max. It will have another short run in theater only, I believe, for another month or so. And then it is expected to be sometime in March. It will return to streaming services before sometime in April of 2021 for a home theater release, meaning iTunes, probably a return to HBO Max, yada, yada, yada. If you haven't seen it yet, highly recommend picking. I like HBO Max. I really enjoy the service. Okay. And for those of you who are Spectrum customers, I would look into it because I believe you get it for free. Are you a Spectrum TV customer?
Yeah.
Do you have HBO?
Yeah.
I would look into it because I think you get it free. And when we're recording this, it's Sunday, January 17th. So it means 7 days left to watch Wonder Woman 84. Real quick, another thing about Suicide Squad. I like it. I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the characters that were in the first one. I think that given James Gunn's affinity for character development and the team aspect, I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
that's right. You watched Suicide Squad at the movies too with everybody. Oh, that's right. Damn it.
But God, that movie had so much potential. But I look forward to it. And seeing what James Gunn can bring to the DC universe. I think this is perfect because I think that the Suicide Squad is very much like the Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think that it's very similar to that. It's like this band of misfit toys. And I think James Gunn has proven himself that he will be able to work with this kind of playground of characters. It should be noted real quick, speaking of James Gunn and going back to what we were talking about before with Keanu Reeves and not having a set character in the Marvel Universe now that Oscar Isaac is playing Mark Spector Moon Knight, which a lot of people are saying, I really think that should be Keanu Reeves. There's a major character that is potentially going to be making its debut in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and that is Adam Warlock. Could it possibly be that we could see Keanu Reeves play the perfect male playing Adam Warlock?
I mean,
and make the book that I gave my wife for Christmas a collector's item.
Let me try to chime in this. Here's the thing. Okay, I got to preface this by saying this. I freaking love Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah.
Like and that's I loved him. I loved him since Speed.
Yeah.
That's how far as I go. And not only that, but I loved him so much in Speed that I went back and saw his other movies. Particularly the one where he was he wasn't a love story. I forgot what it was called. I think it was something in the eye, I believe, or something like that. I forget what it was called. But I loved him in that movie too. And I'm gonna just say this: even though the man coached Shakespeare line by line, even though the man has been in other dramatic movies, even though and I've loved him in all his acts, even though how dedicated this man is, I feel like you can't give Keanu Reeves a serious character, like a serious, because I know his acting style. I've seen The Lake House. Okay, I've seen what he does in all these movies. Okay, I've seen The freaking Lake House, and I love that movie. I will say that as a straight male. I've seen The Lake House, and I love it. Even though The Lake House was, of course, a different an American adaptation of a Korean film. That's beside the point. I feel like I'm kind of sad, at the same time glad that he didn't get Mark Spector, because the range that needs to be shown to play Spectre, I feel is not within Keanu Reeves' capabilities right now. Right now, I mean, probably when he was younger, absolutely, but right now, no. Like the dude still has a plate in the back of his neck where he has to turn his shoulders in order to look your way. He can't move his neck. So in order for him, so literally when he's acting, he has to turn his whole body to look at you, not move his neck. He can't move his neck left or right. So I feel like if he's given a like a quote unquote serious character, like, you know, he's always serious all the time, I think he'll do well. I feel like I don't know, because I've his last prior movies, John Wick, the John Wick series, even that weird freaking one where even that weird ass movie where two girls come into his house and they have sex with him, and then they terrorize him, and then they like kind of like blackmail him by giving the pictures to his wife. That movie was weird too. Okay, just yeah.
Forgot about that one.
I've seen all his movies. Okay, I've seen all the man's
actor.
movies.
He is a good actor. He's one of the good guys in Hollywood too.
Yes, absolutely. But like the point is that he's also in the video game. He's also in Cyberpunk, and I hear him, and I love his voice.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
Oh, I'm thankful that he's there, because he could just lull me to sleep if he wants to. Okay, but here's the point. His best acting days are behind him. He can't play serious complex roles. If he's the type of guy that does the one-liner guy, and I'm okay with that. I love that. I would love to see him quote Shakespeare. I would love him. I'm hoping he blows me away with whoever he is in Marvel. I really am. But just the history he's giving me right now in the last 5-6 years is that, okay, he's that quiet, or he's that guy who has that quiet rage within him, right? You can't really be serious. The last time I saw him act was when he was like really act was when he was super freaking angry after his wife got killed, and he's in that church in John Wick 1 where he says, "You either stand aside or I'll kill you with him." I love that scene. That was the best emotional scene that's
John Wick again.
Oh my god,
that is the only, like I told you earlier in the show. Yeah. And it let me preface this by saying I love my family. I love spending time with my family, but every grown man needs a fishing trip.
Mm-hmm.
Need a fishing trip. For me, my fishing trip is going to Comic-Con, is going to San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it.
And I get to eat what I want. I get to do what I want. And I have a good time. I catch up with old friends. And I was thinking about this week. That 2020 flew by so fast, just like that. Mm-hmm. And my wife and I broke quarantine for New Year's. Yeah. And we spent our New Year's Eve with a pair of friends. Just a couple, nobody else. It's a couple we trust, a couple that I know is tested regularly. So I'm prefacing this because we went so far into depth about COVID last week because of somebody. And talk about you, JR. By the way, anybody who hasn't seen episode 31 of this show, the first, I don't know, 40 seconds of the show is just me in our crawl and our Star Wars theme ripping on JR testing positive. And I asked JR's permission to post it before I post it. Nonetheless, I'm prefacing this just whatever.
No.
It just puts into perspective how quickly 2020 flew by, because we spent New Year's Eve 2019 with this same couple, and it made me think earlier this week like how quickly it flew by. And I'm thinking about and it made me think about Comic-Con, and the last time I saw these two female friends of mine who were like my Comic-Con sisters, and it will be almost 2 years since I've seen them in the flesh, in person. And part of my Comic-Con experience, like I said earlier, is watching nerd movies like Star Wars. And I've seen, I think I saw more of it when I fell asleep than I did today. Yeah. But one of the times I finally broke down and said, I'm not going to do Marvel. I'm not going to do Star Wars. I'm not going to do nerd movies. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch a movie I've promised my brother for at that point, a year or so to watch. And that is John Wick. I watched John Wick and John Wick 2.
See 3.
I've not seen 3. I've never seen 3.
That's so good.
I really, really enjoyed both movies. It's been a few years since I've seen them. I've only seen them each once, and absolutely love them. Keanu Reeves did a fantastic job. It's really difficult at times for me to see Keanu Reeves play John Wick, considering all I hear in the back of my head when I see Keanu Reeves day in and day out is, I am an FBI agent. Sorry. All I hear is Point Break.
Really? Not Ted and Bill? Not Bill and Ted, really?
Seriously?
Really?
No. I grew up on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I grew up on, by the way, still holds up. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I remember there was a box set that came out last summer when the third movie came out. They released on iTunes. You could buy all 3 movies for like $20. Done. I'm in. So my wife and I watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and it holds up. It's a good flick. It's dumb, stupid, stoner humor that you don't actually need to be stoned or drunk to watch.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I like how we are completely and utterly ignoring the movie, and we've got less than 30 minutes left in the movie.
We're happy. That's all I care about right now.
Time right now.
Because I'm probably gonna crap on this movie.
Literally
in the last
38 minutes. 38 minutes left in the movie.
Good.
We haven't even got to the freaking movie yet.
Yes. This is the plan, bro.
On our social media post is
can we extend this to the next movie?
Right now, by the way, it is Finn using the stick that Traitor uses.
Oh God.
So this is the part with Captain Phasma.
Oh yeah. Oh, Captain Phasma. They ruined her too.
They really did. This whole movie crapped on so many great characters.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Keanu Reeves, he's badass. I love him. I grew up on Point Break. I grew up on Speed and Point Break. I did watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I remember going to the theaters to see Bogus Journey when I was a kid and enjoyed it. But to me, you'd say Keanu Reeves. I think Point Break. I think Agent Johnny Utah. And a lot of it had to do with me working at Best Buy. We actually, real quick, funny thing about Best Buy. They actually have a computer in Geek Squad that will run diagnostics. It runs a very sophisticated computer that runs diagnostics. It's one computer that can run a diag on I think up to 12 computers. And the computer that does those diagnostics is called Agent Johnny Utah. It's AJU. They do a lot of within the internal breakdown of Geek Squad at Best Buy is based around pop culture characters and stuff like that. So I just thought that was kind of funny. I remember I got my there's a disc. They actually have AJU on a disc that you could take home if you worked at Best Buy, and you could put it in your computer and basically cure any virus that your computer had. It was kind of badass, but just thought this made me think about that, about AJU. That's why Point Break is so embedded into my head. Plus, my buddy and I went to the Long Beach Grand Prix, about 10 years ago, and Keanu Reeves, who was a gearhead, drove in the pro celebrity race for the Long Beach Grand Prix, and I believe he had won the celebrity field the year before, which means that if you win the celebrity race, you have to come back the next year and you have to be a pro. And he came back and was killing the pro field. I mean, he was beating professional race car drivers. And every time Keanu Reeves would drive by, all my buddy and I could hear, all we would say is, "Oh yeah, I'm an FBI agent." And these guys were going, "Why do you keep saying that?" And I'm like, "Dude, go home and rent Point Break tonight and you'll know." But that's all I could think. John Wick is a great movie. I highly recommend it. It is not safe for kids. It is not safe for wives.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
But still, you should watch it when you're older. Oh my God. There's only a few men in my life that I completely love.
You got a man boner for him. You got a boner. Yes. You got a boner for Keanu Reeves. And Keanu Reeves, a good dude.
I watched freaking 47 Ronin. I went through that film. I went through 47 Ronin, that terrible, terrible film. And I think I love Keanu Reeves in that movie even more. Yes. But that's how I feel. Okay.
34 minutes.
Okay, so the original point was, okay, so yeah, how do we feel about, Keanu Reeves being a possible character or being a Marvel character eventually? I kind of hope he's a villain, honestly. I kind of hope he's a villain in the next film. Yeah, I could probably see him, like, if he was a hero, I could probably see him as maybe Silver Surfer. That'd be freaking amazing.
It's a good pull.
Bald ass Keanu Reeves in just silver. And the first thing I want to hear him when he comes to the universe is going, "Whoa, you guys are here." Oh. Whoa. That's it.
I think we went down this road before.
Yeah.
I got one for you.
Ooh.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Dr. Doom.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Actually, I would.
Could he do it?
No.
You talk about Dr. Doom is the bad of bad guys. He is the ultimate bad guy. And that's where they've gotten him wrong so many times. Dr. Doom, Victor Von Doom, is a bigger asshole. He is a bigger prick. He is a bigger bad guy than Thanos. He is bigger.
I thought you were going to say Tony. I thought you were going to say he's a bigger prick, bigger asshole than Tony. I'm like, absolutely. Yes, he is.
He is. He's a bigger prick than Tony Stark.
Yes,
he's absolutely a bigger prick than Tony Stark.
He's basically the bad version. Well, I can't say basically.
He is the ultimate bad guy in the Marvel universe, because Thanos and Galactus and those characters you can't compare. You really can't compare, because they are these bigger than life characters. Loki, who is an alien. Thanos, an alien. Galactus, an alien. All these characters you cannot compare. It's not fair. It's really not fair. Victor Von Doom is the answer to DC's Lex Luthor, in my opinion.
But
nobody can hold a candle to Victor Von Doom.
How dare you try to compare Luthor to Victor Von?
That's the best way I can explain it to him. Yeah, but really and truly, Victor Von Doom is the biggest bad guy on the planet. He is bigger than Von Strucker. He is bigger than Baron Zemo. He is bigger than.
The dude took on Celestials by himself and was winning. Like, the dude, when he was given full, freaking not utilitarian, when he was given a full freaking control of the world prospered. A mad villain took over the world, and the entire world knew peace, never knew hunger, and they freaking prospered. And then he said, you know what?
Yeah.
And he said, you know what? I'm kind of bored now. Let's just go back to what it usually is now. And he did. Victor, and I love Keanu, but I don't know. I want to see him in more serious films possibly, and really play off the acting, that really put on his acting chops. It's just, to me, dude, like the last couple of films, I don't know. Like I feel like he's one of those guys now where he's like maybe a 1 to 2 liner type of guy now. You can't give him too many lines. And Victor Von Doom is hella freaking charismatic. And and not only that, but like I don't know if he can cover up his face. I don't know if he can cover up Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, you got a good point. Comments below, guys. If you want to get involved with the show on our social media platforms, hit us up on our comments below on the YouTube channel or on our social media platforms. When we post the photo for this podcast, go back and let us know what character do you think that Keanu Reeves would be absolutely perfect for to play, and let us know, and we'll talk about that on the next episode.
Wait. This is for the show. I want you to title the show the Last Jedi, but not really show.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
By the way, let's do a countdown. We are at 29 minutes, so under 29 minutes, under 30 minutes to go, and we are just now getting to the movie. Star Wars: The Last Jedi, released on December 5th, 2017, directed by Rian Johnson, who since then has done a lot better movie with Knives Out. In the time it took for us to completely and utterly ignore this movie, Rian Johnson did a better movie. Yeah. It is stars Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Andy Serkis, Kelly Marie Tran, and
Benicio. I put Benicio for some reason. Benicio.
Fucked up that name. It doesn't matter because he should not have been in the movie. Benicio del Toro.
So we're gonna take the next maybe 10 to 15 minutes to just probably shit on this movie now, and then be done with it.
I'm just gonna the beginning, the dread, the sense of hopelessness. That is JR's notes. Right off the bat, what I didn't like, I told you, the zooming in, the digital effects, I didn't like. The Mary Poppins scene with Carrie Fisher with General Organa being able, showing her literal only freaking force powers in the entire saga until we see the flashback scene in the next movie. Her only force power is her flying around outer space like Mary freaking Poppins, and it looks like dog shit. And that's it. That's it. It's so terrible. What has a bad taste in my mouth is the people who shit on Kelly Marie Tran. I like Rose. I think it's a good character that was miswrote. This is a prime example. This is like a reverse. This is like a reverse Brian Michael Bendis. Brian Michael Bendis creates great characters and writes them well. Brian Michael Bendis would have done a better job than whoever wrote. Not this. This script is actually good. JR could have written freaking Rose better than Rian Johnson did.
You're damn right. I would have.
And he's proven it. Check out his back issues from 111 Comics.
No, but here's thank you. Thank you. Here,
God,
I actually enjoyed the movie. I go ahead, do that. But
you shit on the movie first, then we'll get the pull list.
I actually enjoyed the movie my first go around, but like, and then I heard other people's opinions about it, right? And I'm thinking like, that didn't happen in the movie, right? I never saw that point in the movie. And then when I watched the movie about a second time, I saw everything I didn't like about it. Because what got me going into it was the dread, right? Like when it first started out, right? It felt like, this small force was being overran, right? I like that approach. The good guys are on the run. It very much felt like very much felt a lot like, not a lot like, but it did have that same feel as Empire Strikes Back. Like, all right, cool. Those are kind of stirring feelings to me, right? The good guys are losing. They're losing bad. They're losing horribly, horribly bad. There's a lot of stakes on the line, right? They lost ships, they lost people, and not only that, but somehow they're able to be tracked through hyperspace. That has never freaking happened in the Star Wars movie. I'm like, okay, cool. You're interacting. You are giving new things. Somehow, some way, they are being tracked through freaking hyperspace. And so this is they have this long list line of like, yep, you have stakes in this movie. That's the one thing that I love. That's the one thing that I felt like was lacking in the first movie. There were stakes there, but like they could be overcame pretty freaking easily. In this movie, the stakes actually mattered because guess the frick what, bitches? The actual rebel army is at stake because they're being tracked and they're being destroyed systematically. Cool, I get that. So we get other runs in. The whole thing what they did with John Boyega was horrendous. That I kind of enjoyed where he came out of the coma, right? And he had that bromo with Oscar Isaac a little bit. Like, all right, cool. You know, he's having just after this whole freaking, horrendous effect of losing people. Rose lost her sister, and you see her in the engine room or whatever, just holding that pendant from her sister. The other half, like, oh, I miss my sister. That like I felt so heavy, like, oh damn, it's a good movie. And you got John Boyega come by. All right, cool. You have a fun laugh. He's okay. He's definitely gonna have his force powers now. He's definitely gonna be a Star Wars guy, or he's definitely gonna be a Jedi now, or Jedi in training, right? Padawan. That's what I thought when I first saw it. When I first freaking thought about it. Nope. The whole movie then became all the guys are wrong movie. That's what it felt like to me. All the guys are wrong. And just the whole freaking sidetrack of Rose and Finn going to some weird off island or weird off planet to find a traitor, to find a thing that goes to a thing, then that led to nowhere. I'm like, okay, whatever. But then you saw that kid though, that could possibly be a possible force influenced child. Okay, maybe that might lead to somewhere. Did not fucking happen. Rey going to Luke and Luke becoming a desolate man who, if he was a desolate man that was kind of just like, kind of downtrodden. Okay. He was downtrodden and angry, super like hopeless to the world. Very much like everything should just freaking die type of thing. Right. I'm like, they massacred my boy. Look at him. They massacred him. Hence my thing. And I'm like, what the hell they do to Luke? Like, granted, if his training academy was destroyed and derelict, yeah, maybe you want to go off to some deserted planet somewhere and kind of just like be by yourself, right? I thought that was legit. I think that was logical. Nah, dude, this man became cynical, hopelessness, super hateful towards everything. Nothing makes sense. Fuck the Force and all that stuff. I'm like, yo, this is not Luke at all now. This is the angry uncle who can't, this is the angry grandfather who can't believe he died before his wife did. To me. That's what I felt like. And that hurt me because like, yo, no, this is not Luke at all. Even when his wife did die before him in the extended universe, he was still very much that hopeful man that wanted to continue to change the world, like continue to change the universe, and want to continue to help other Padawans grow stronger and become that beacon of light to everyone. That was how I envisioned Luke Skywalker in my head. This was not. And that irritated the hell out of me. And how the hell does Rey train at a rock and become a better fighter than Kylo Ren? Or not even that. How did she become a better fighter than Kylo Ren's, his guard? All the guards, the like all the guys in red. Like, how did she become better than them who've probably been training for freaking years?
I just realized I was on mute this whole time.
Don't worry about it.
That's my fault.
I like that solo. It's fine. How does that freaking happen? Like, it just irritated me. And not only that, but Poe was not listened to at all. And people are saying that, oh no, Poe didn't know his place. Poe didn't know that. Like, dude, Poe's the only freaking guy that's asking questions. What's happening? I think we have a traitor amiss. What's going on? Why aren't we continuing forward? Everyone's dying. What like, you have to tell me something. I'm on your lead. I'm one of your main guys. What's the main option? Oh, you're a guy, and I'm the leader, and you were seen as a dysfunctional and at times disloyal, not disloyal, but like you disobey commands. Like, yeah, but so did help me out real quick. Rogue One. What's your name?
Oh shit. Oh yeah, that was like 6 movies ago.
So did Jen.
Jen Erso.
Yeah. Why are you saying that? I'm rebelling. Like, come on. Like, come on, dude. Like, that's how he's supposed to be, because guess what? He has lost people. He literally lost his whole freaking squadron in the first 10 minutes. So yeah, he wants to ask questions. And what do you do to him? Oh, you're gonna just go to I'm gonna put you in prison now. You're disbarred from being here in the thing. Like, yo, like, this whole freaking thing was basically, oh no, you have to trust women. You have to trust the opinions of these women regardless, even though they give you absolutely nothing to work with. That's just bad. Like, that's just bad management. If you were my manager and you told me, don't worry about it, just don't worry about it. That's it. But you expect me to freaking work out this whole freaking massive problem right now without giving me any hint or anything? I'm like, what the frick? That's bad management. Like, that's bad management, dude. And the way she was written was freaking horrible. I expected more from that I expected more from a captain that I guess at that point over exceeds Captain Akbar. So yeah, that pissed me off. And I'm pretty. Which part are we at right now?
The duel between Luke and Kylo.
Oh fucking hell, dude! Here's my biggest gripe with the whole freaking movie. Up until the point we see Kylo and Kylo and Rey fighting with each other, fighting together, and fighting everybody else. Right at the end of that scene, the film has given you this one thing. Everything you have seen and known about Star Wars universe, you throw out the window. Luke, no, he's bitter and hateful. Gravity somehow works in space. Snoke, that big bad that's supposed to be that we see now, he's actually a pushover. You kill him with a lightsaber pretty freaking easily.
Yeah.
All this stuff. I even forgot how freaking the going to hyperspace to destroy all the freaking the destroyers after everyone escapes into the planet. Her sacrifice.
Yeah.
Her quote unquote sacrifice after she reverts back and goes in destroyers. Like, okay, then if you bring that option up, why couldn't they do that? Why couldn't they do that with the first why couldn't they do that with the first and second Death Star? Just have somebody just have one of the ships go into hyperspace and destroy it. You bring up that option. That's stupid now. This is a dumbass option now. So, okay. So that one thing. Oh, he could do that now. Okay. But then, sacrifices, and Finn wanting to sacrifice himself to save his friends after that fucking 15 to 30 minute waste of time he did elsewhere. Nope. Subverted, because guess right, guys. Suicide is bad, and having a love interest in another character is much better. And sacrifice yourself is wrong, even though literally about 10 minutes before that, the captain sacrificed herself. So female sacrifice in a film for a greater good to do friends, great. Male sacrifices in a film to save your friends, wrong. That pissed me the hell off. Okay. But it all goes down to this too. The main point was this: after all the subversion tactics that they did, when Kylo goes to Rey and says, fuck all of it. Who cares about the light and the lights, the force, the light and the dark? Who cares about that stuff? Let's just forget about it and create our own thing. I so badly wanted her to say, you know what? Yeah, because the light, there's bad and good. This whole movie was telling you about the bad and good, about the lights and dark side. Luke himself said how it was all a freaking lie. And that movie is Luke, right? I'm thinking like, all right, cool. Then she should bridge it, right? I don't think I was okay with her and Kylo going together, right? And starting their own type of force. I was okay with that. And guess the freak what? Freaking Rian Johnson said, nope, never mind. She's gonna be the good guy. Freaking Ray's like, no, I'm gonna be the good guy, the only good guy now, basically. And she and then it just became a traditional sense of like Star Wars now after that point. And that irritated the hell out of me. If your whole film was built on subversion, would you not think then, at the most pivotal point where you could do away with the Force, totally, this whole ideology of light and dark ideology, and do away with it, and just have people who are Force infused just be there? Wouldn't you say, okay, then we'll just create our own thing and have Rey as not the good character, and not necessarily the bad character, but just the main characters?
Yeah,
I would have been okay with that, but they didn't, and they just fucking pigeonholed her into being the traditional Peggy Sue of the whole fucking film, and that irritated the hell out of me. Her character would have been much, much, much better if she was part of the big bad. If she joined Kylo Ren and became the opposition to the rebel forces, the movie would have been so much better.
I don't know. Is there anything that could have possibly saved this movie? I'm really surprised. I'm looking on IMDb.
Yeah.
And it actually is getting a 7 out of 10, 70% on IMDb.
Look at the fan reviews.
Yeah,
look at the fan reviews.
Well, no, that's the thing is you can go on IMDb and you can rank. You can vote. That is the fan review, and I'm surprised it's that high. Now, it should be noted, of the 11 movies, we have one left. To watch, and that is The Rise of Skywalker. That's going to be next week. This is my second least favorite movie. I'll let it be known that I actually enjoyed Rise of Skywalker better than this movie. My least favorite Star Wars movie is The Phantom Menace. It's last place out of the 11 movies. We will reveal our top 11 list next week on the Rise of Skywalker episode. But Last Jedi was just bad. It had potential, and it was so. To me, the best way to describe it: Spider-Man 3. There was too much going on, not a well-written script. Characters were not flushed out properly. So much potential left on the table.
I get the comparison, man, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing about that comparison. At least Spider-Man had Sandman.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Sandman.
What did Star Wars have as their good character? Like they screwed up Rey. They Peggy sued Rey. They completely obliterated John Boyega. They completely obliterated Finn. They discredited the hell out of Poe. And this whole film that's supposed to be saying that women voices, and you should believe women, and we should, but the way they're pushing it to the point where like women sacrifice, is more important than men's sacrifice, because you see that in the film. They're saying they've shown that what else they show in this fucking film? They show just some dumb ass shit of how Rey converting back Luke to go back to the light, how even though he's a wise and wondrous Jedi master who has lived through so much crap and has some freaking reason, the reason why he wanted to kill freaking Kylo, which that would never freaking happen when Kylo was younger, Never would have happened. That you have to look past it, and then, oh, I can't believe I was told by this girl who literally was only a couple months in and only lived in the freaking desert. Oh, so somehow this makes sense now, and so therefore I will just force power my way to that planet you were in, and just force ghost everything. Oh, yeah. We also forgot the freaking fact that one Rey's parents are nobodies.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Oh, your parents are nobodies. They're like that, like fucking really.
Yeah.
The way that Kylo went to. I think Kylo was decent in the film. He had his motivations were clear. He wanted to be better, and how they chopped him. I can't believe also in a movie that really try to glorify women, that really try to put a pedestal on women, that how they did Captain Phasma.
Yeah,
it's like they done her away. You make her lose a part of her freaking her eye, her face shield came off, and you finally see a little bit of her face, man. I would think they do right by her, because the first film did a horrible by her.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just the movie overall, and then out of nowhere, you freaking the end of the movie, if you guys don't know, is that they freaking Deus Ex Machina the whole fucking film, and have Rey come out of nowhere, and now, being on an island, being on a planet with a very despondent Luke Skywalker, she now knows how to use her force powers and picks up 100 rocks. Like how you went inside a cave and talked to yourself,
but
and that was it.
At the same time, though, is that we addressed this last week, is that Luke did the same thing, and that we broke down the time period between that it was only about 5 years between the conclusion of A New Hope and the events of Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was only a year between Empire Strikes Back and the Return of the Jedi in that period of time. So in 6 years, so yeah, 6 years, as opposed to, maybe a year or two in between Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, that, yeah, she garners these powers, but
no, dude, the timeline for this is that literally right after Force Awakens and going to Luke, they've never actually said off camera that she has some type of force powers. And when Luke, he actually trained with Yoda for a little bit when he was doing that one arm push up and then that one arm handstand and trying to have all the rock come together. That shows some indication of him getting force powers. While her, literally, in the span of 3 days with Luke Skywalker, okay, let's say a week of Luke Skywalker, right? Her training by herself, nothing. Really nothing.
Wait, did I just see that?
What?
The very end of the movie, you have the little kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
one of the kids is Force influence, yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay, I did. Okay, it is. Okay, so
one of the kids is Force influence, yeah.
So good.
And it shakes. The thing shakes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk pool list here, so we can all go to bed and be done with this monstrosity.
You will. I won't.
Oh, I forgot. Dude. It's a green cover. It's one of my favorite characters.
Oh, well,
yeah. Actually, that's not. It looks like J. Scott Campbell's version of Psylocke, but it's not.
No, it's that character will be actually, I think, will be played by
Is this Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. In Eternals.
So, great cover, very, very, like I said, Psylocke-esque cover there. The movie's over, by the way.
Thank you.
I did get MODOK 1. Thank you, Sid. And MODOK issue number 2, cover A. I had the variants, but I grabbed this. By the way, if you're a Gwenpool fan, spoiler alert, Gwenpool does reappear in issue number 2. That's one of the reasons why I'm collecting it. We got Kick-Ass versus Hit Girl. By the way, if you're not reading the new Kick-Ass, which has been going on for a couple of years now, great run. Not the same character. It's a new character. It's actually an ex-Marine who takes over the boots of Kick-Ass. Basically, hey, I'm pissed off. I'm going to be a superhero, much like the original. Speaking of more J. Scott Campbell and Wonder Woman, this is issue number 1 of Future State, the next Batman #1. They're doing the Wonder Woman 84 motion picture covers. This is the Campbell cover. I really enjoyed. Then just to show you what Art Germ can do. I didn't know this was Art Germ until I saw his signature, but just he is an amazing artist. I mean, that is basically a portrait of Gal Gadot.
Yep.
Great job by Art Germ.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there tomorrow and pick up my stuff.
I'm gonna skip that one. This is issue number 1, cover A of Kara Zor-El's Superwoman. This is the Bennett cover, I think it is. The cover A. I liked it.
Yeah, I don't recall. I gotta pick up the Future State stuff, dude. Those look really good. I think the stories are. I'm heard the two that stories going really well too. So
a couple of back issues I picked up thanks to Sid. I just really enjoyed this cover work. I can't tell who the artist is, but this was just a really neat cover of Spider-Gwen.
Pena? No. I think that's.
Can you decipher the signature? For those of you on the YouTube channel, I'm showing the signature page. But it's kind of a gymnastics pose.
Which Spider-Gwen is that?
It's Spider-Gwen issue number 7. I'm sorry, Ghost Spider. I apologize. Ghost Spider.
Oh, Ghost Spider. Okay.
Ghost Spider number 7. So this is the current run. I'm saving one. This is another back issue. This is a Wonder Woman number 36. So this is from a couple of years ago. I can't think of the artist's name, but I just really love her work.
That's for Zone.
Yeah. That could be the name. And then last but certainly not least, and I'm going to peel the stick.
Paul Pope was the cover artist for Ghost Spider. Yeah, because he's done more. Yeah, he's done other recent ones too.
I'm going to peel the sticker off because I got a lot of stink from people online of how much I paid for it, and I did not pay the amount of money that's on this sticker. But this is a book that I thought I had gotten, but did not get. Speaking of Nick Spencer, he is the writer on this book, and this is the Amazing Spider-Man number 55, Legacy 856. This is
you got that one. That's such a sick cover, dude. I thought I freaking ordered that book from Comic Asylum, bro.
So did I.
I thought I did.
Get it. So did I.
I didn't get it.
I didn't get it. And Sid had one last copy, and it was sitting behind the booth. He had a 40 sticker on it. And I will tell you this, despite what people will say, what you may have seen on my social media account, people going, wow, you paid $40 for that. I did not pay $40 for this. I did not pay 40, but this book is fetching online a lot more than $40. I
think the last one I saw that was part of like 44, 45.
But I paid significantly less than $40 for this book. Okay. This is a very hard book to get a hold of. It will appreciate in value. It's a great cover, and there is a second printing coming next month, I believe. With it's the same cover, but instead of the white, it is red.
Yep.
But hands down, though, that book came out a couple of weeks ago. That's about a 2-week-old book.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know who the artist is. I don't care. I love this cover. I don't know why. I have not read the book yet. It just is simple and to the point, and it captures Kara Zor-El, and it captures the direction that they are going, where it's no longer Supergirl, it is Superwoman. It is a beautiful, very professional, but at the same time a little sexy cover. It is my cover of the week, and this is the B cover of Future State, Kara Zor-El, Superwoman #1 right here. Absolutely love this cover. It's perfect that the light is hitting the sun on the cover. I like it. I absolutely love it. It's very. I thought it was kind of cool. Someone pointed out to me. It looks like Reese
Maybe a
Witherspoon.
much. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's simple, and I really, really enjoyed. I enjoyed that cover. That's my cover pick of the week. And again, if you are in the market for comic books, check out Comic Asylum Palm Desert and or Desert Oasis comic books if you live here in the Coachella Valley, or Interstellar Comics. Yeah. If not, if you're listening to our podcast overseas or around this great country, we highly recommend checking out your local comic book store. You can do so by either going to marvel.com or dccomics.com and check out your local comic book store locator. They'll type in like a zip code, or you can just go to Yelp or Google or something like that. But definitely in this time of need, we highly recommend that you support your local comic book store. I will say this. I recently rejoined Reddit and have joined a couple of comic book collecting subreddits. And I joined a Gwenpool subreddit and put out there that, hey, I'm collecting all of the Gwenpool appearances, whether it be a cover or a book appearance by Gwenpool. And I said, these are the 2 books I'm missing. If anybody knows where can help me locate them. And I had 2 people message me saying like, hey, dude, I will go to my local comic book store and see what I can do. And I said, I could easily go on eBay right now and buy the books if I wanted to, but I'm not going to pay the prices that they want. And I'm only missing like 2 or 3 books to complete my Gwenpool collection. And these guys were like adamant, like, no, we're going to go to our local comic book store and try to find them. So hands down, great job by everybody out there who are going out of their way to support their local comic book store. So anyways, you got some pool stuff, bro?
Some old stuff, man. Just most likely last week. I'm probably gonna go. I'm actually gonna go out finally this week after the quarantine, all that stuff. After my own self-imposed quarantine, I'm actually gonna go out and possibly buy my pool that has been probably stacking up quite a bit in the last couple of weeks I've been gone. So yeah, that's gonna be on my to-do list tomorrow, as well as setting my CDCs finally out. And not really, nothing. I'll have stuff next week though. For me, definitely, I'll definitely have stuff next week. But nothing than that, guys. Other than that, dude, like, nah, not really. What's crazy is that what I found out, dude, after going through COVID, is that my sleep schedule is so messed up, dude. Like, I literally one day I'll sleep for like 14 out, like 12 hours out of nowhere, and then next day I won't sleep at all for the next 30 hours. I've been like, literally that happened yesterday. Like, I woke up at around 12, 1-ish, right? But I went to sleep like around 10 the night before. But before that, before I went to sleep that night, though, I was up for about 30 hours. Crazy. Insane. It was like, I just couldn't go to sleep. Like, it was weird. I tried to go to sleep, then couldn't go to sleep. Like, damn it. All right, let me just do stuff. Be online and go write stuff or whatever. So like, yeah, that's a weird thing. I think that's one of the effects of having COVID, where like you just have weird sleep cycles now. Your body has to adapt again. So yeah, nothing really. That's why I can't wait to go out tomorrow, dude, and just be around people. But like, of course, but of course still holding, the protocols of COVID-19.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. I might actually go work out tomorrow. I've been pretty adamant. Of course, I'll be geared out heavily in like long sleeves, wiping everything down, probably bringing a jacket and all that stuff. But yeah.
Why did I not just see this until just now? This was released yesterday, and it's footage from the 2021 the 2021 HBO Max release schedule. And we are seeing the first footage. It's half of a second long of Godzilla and King Kong.
Oh, nice.
So we will talk about that next week. But nice. let me actually, you know what? Let me see if I can bring this up. And this will be more for the YouTube side.
Half a second,
dude.
Like 0.5 seconds.
Let me bring this up. hold on, where's Zoom? And again, we don't own this content. So for the YouTube side, enjoy.
Half a minute long. Oh, dude.
No.
A second.
Check this out, bro.
Yeah.
Bam. That's all we see. Then we get to see Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat. There's Braun. Some other stuff. A lot of stuff coming out. Tom and Jerry. There's Suicide Squad. Let's see what else.
Just letting you know the video cut off for me. So yeah.
Okay, but anyways, that's kind of the maybe it'll air on the YouTube side, but Godzilla vs. Kong. There's a lot of stuff was in Target today. There's a lot of merchandise already starting to come out for the movie. So
I can go to Target now. Oh yeah. Yes.
Oh, I was looking for amiibos and and Pokemon cards for my son today. So I was over. Yeah. By the way, your boy has been bitten by the
Amiibo?
What's the show called? What's the stupid game called? Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing? Oh,
I am playing Animal Crossing. I am playing Animal Crossing. I finally beat Zelda in the Breath of the Wind.
Okay.
I finally beat it. Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild. Yeah. I finally beat Ganon. I've more or less beaten Pokemon Sword and Shield with the expansion packs. I have not completed the expansion packs on Legend of Zelda, but I needed a little breather, and because I kind of did a final grind of Hyrule Castle, and it just took it out of me. So I'm playing a little Animal Crossing and just kind of decompressing, and so yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'll post some stuff online, but yeah, guys, next week, this journey that has gone on for nearly 3 months will finally come to a conclusion from the movie side. We will do The Rise of Skywalker next week.
Yes, we will.
Again, we ask that you put in the comments below, have nothing to do with Star Wars, put in the comments below what you think Keanu Reeves should play in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And next week we will put a bow on this, and then we will get into the happy fun times where JR will take the complete utter lead on the TV side of Star Wars, and we will put a bow on the Skywalker saga, where we will discuss in depth Clone Wars, Rebels, and The Mandalorian seasons 1 and season 2. So JR has 2 weeks to complete season 2.
Hell yes. No, dude, I have 2 weeks to complete all that again. Oh my gosh, I love that. I can relive all the good times again.
But I'm gonna do a deep dive. I may not be able to get the entire series done on Clone Wars, but I'm gonna do as much as I can. I've done a little bit of watching to prepare for season 2 of The Mandalorian, which wink has something to do. Mandalorian season 2 has a lot to do with the Clone Wars and Rebels. So anyways, as we prepare too, because there's a lot of new shows coming this year and next from the TV side of the Star Wars universe. Again, I'm Kevin Pillow at Voice of Reason 23, social media accounts on Facebook, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Now back on Snapchat too. I don't know if I'm going to post anything there. But he is the Dark King, aka Darth Cabacungan.
Yep. All that. I'm at also Nigeria Comics 42. Twitter still. I gotta start Twitter, man. I guess I know that Twitter's
universal. I
do get the universe. I do all that stuff. But yeah, guys, you can find me on that one. I will most likely also be making a second page on Instagram, and yeah. I mean,
and if you're looking for some great deals too, by the way, head over to also Not JR Comics 42, and he posts all kinds of comic book stuff, and his eBay listings are opening. It is the fund, the Go Fund JR's Computer Foundation. He is looking to buy that new MacBook Pro. We highly recommend. Dude, I'm gonna be jealous because you're gonna have that badass M1 chip in there. So,
here's the thing. I don't know. I do want the M1. I'm looking at it still, but I saw that price. I saw that price point. I'm like, might as well get the regular one.
Because I'm looking into getting an iMac for the office, because right now I'm on a 16-inch MacBook Pro, and I love it to death and whatnot. But I'm wanting to get a studio computer, podcasting stuff like that. And I'm looking at the big beast, the 27-inch iMac, and I don't think they have the M1 chip in the current iMac line, but maybe
just only laptops. Just only laptops right now.
So,
yeah.
All right, guys, have a great week, and thank you so much for supporting the podcast. Again, you can find us on all podcast platforms, including oh my gosh, I completely forgot Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. Anchor.fm, iHeartRadio, and now on Amazon Music. We are still working. I think we're a little behind on Amazon Music, but Amazon's got a lot of stuff to take care of. Got a lot of stuff to take care of. Yeah. Support us, of course, on YouTube. We'll have the link in all of our social media accounts, and on the bottom of our description, if you're listening to us on one of the many audio platforms, scroll all the way to the bottom of the description and you can find the link to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, thank you for your support. No, I'm just kidding. That's how we say thank you in PS Comics. I love you. True.
If you see me, if you can recognize me with a mask on and everything too, and you flip me off and say PS Comics, I'm gonna do the same thing to you.
You can recognize us from here on up. So, my son took my other mask, so I had my Darth Vader mask in here last week. All right, guys, have a great night, and as always,
we will see you later. Peace.
Peace.
Yes.